Hey, are you seriously podcasting alone?
Nah, I'm with my
We're back for another episode on a nice casual weekday.
All right, we are the boys versus everything.
Stop.
I never get to do it.
Yeah,
There is a way to intro the damn show.
he really wants to just control
has
it.
never,
Okay, go in.
like, nobody else have ever introduced except you?
Nick has
okay,
tried
you
for
wanna
2
introduce
episodes.
it?
No, I don't care.
Say everybody's name, then say the name of the show. We are...
We are the boys, and it is the boys versus everything.
No, it was really
I am
fun.
John sitting here with Nicola, who cannot intro a show, and John and Priscilla. We are the boys. Welcome to the boys versus everything. That is how you intro a show.
That is how you intro.
You got to do it with some pizzazz.
Nick, if you're gonna do it, you have to like brute force your way through it.
I don't want to do
you
it
have
anymore.
to
I don't
like
care.
you like to like overcommit over him
Holy shit.
because he will overcommit. So,
Hey, it's a show.
so hi, I'm John.
hey,
here
so
with
Priscilla.
another John.
Yo,
Priscilla, what are we doing today? nice sunglasses,
jumping.
by the way.
Yeah, nice sunglasses too.
Man, I hope
Nice
we can have like a
sunglasses,
Stevie
too.
Wonder episode. Everybody wearing them sunglasses.
Oh, my God.
What are we doing today?
Oh man. Well, as most of you guys know, you're all short.
I thought I was average.
Alternative title for the show originally was The Short Kings versus Everything.
Yeah.
But that was taken. I think the Fresh and Fit podcast has that.
And also, we'd be
Are they short
we'd be
kings?
taken out
They
immediately
would
because we're
definitely
not
not call
royalty.
themselves short
No.
kings.
Well,
They are
not-
way too
don't-
insecure for
They're
that.
not kings either.
Exactly.
So-
No, you guys are not that short, actually. What height? Or
We're average-
If you
we're
were
average
privy for
Canadian
the
height.
information,
We're average
What?
Canadian
What'd you say?
height.
if you're privy to give the information,
Me and Nick
What
are like
height
the
are
same
you
height.
guys?
I'm 5'7",
you're 5'7".
which is like
Did we measure it last time?
You know
You
what's
were
funny?
5'7"?
we're it's like
Yeah.
5'7.5" or something, which doesn't really fucking
No,
matter.
and then
Yeah,
eighth.
it's
Like we were like up there.
You don't round up like the
Yeah,
Canadian
no.
money.
If you're 5'7", like no matter where you are, it's like, bro.
Yeah,
It's okay.
I'm 5'6", but they say I'm 5'7" sometimes.
I think
don't-
you're like 5'7", no?
We measured
thought you were
we
5'6".
measured ourselves one time. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I
yeah,
mean,
we were
I'm on
really
a
drunk
cusp,
though,
like,
so the
yeah.
memory's a bit hazy. But
height only matters vertically.
wait, we have video now. Let's just fucking
When
do
you're
it now.
horizontal, no.
I'm asking the heights mostly because I was wondering, there is a surgery that is possible.
No,
Four.
no.
Like
Dun,
this.
dun,
Yeah.
dun.
There is a surgery that is possible. And it's called the leg lengthening surgery.
I've heard about this.
Yeah.
Have you heard about that?
I've
Yes.
heard. I saw like a short documentary about this actually.
It was getting big like 2-3 years ago, I think. Where
think
like
Vice-
A lot of
everybody was
people were
talking
getting
about-
big.
Yeah.
out of nowhere.
It was
using the
getting big.
surgery.
Everybody was getting bigger too.
All of a
yeah.
sudden, this
all
short
about
person you
getting
saw in
big.
high school just became 6'5".
Yeah, though, I saw things of like guys being like 5'5", making themselves like 5'7", and I'm like, bro, if you're gonna get tall, like why? Like,
Go big or go home.
yeah,
Right.
exactly. Just go 6 foot. Just have a long ass fucking leg.
There's also the thing where you don't want to make it too obvious, like to the people around you. Like at some
I've
point,
always been this tall.
I've always been 6
I just
foot.
have those
What do you
high
mean
platform
5'5"?
shoes. That was also very big, where like people would put like platforms
Oh, yeah, the
inside their
soles,
shoes.
yeah.
But then at some point, some people would take it too far, and they would put platforms like in their heels, and they would be like literally hovering on their shoes.
I mean, what's your whole point with that? You go to the club with that, you pick up a chick, you're going to get home, you're going to have to take those shoes off.
Yeah, but
but
again,
You can't go into the bedroom like, sorry, baby, the shoes stay on.
Yeah, but she's gonna be on 4 legs. It's not gonna matter.
horizontally, you guys are the same height.
Height does not matter horizontally, baby.
Horizontally, you guys
know
are
what's
the
funny,
same
though?
height.
Take that home with your short kings. That's what you say. If a chick tells you you're too short, baby, height only matters when you're vertical. When you're horizontal, you won't notice the difference. I can be 1,000 feet tall.
You know, in Asia, like a lot of girls have those like 3 inches high sometimes. Like I remember.
Oh,
in
like the
Japan.
heels stuff?
Was that a thing when you were there?
No, they were all pretty short. They were all shorter than me.
Yeah,
They
'cause-
saw you coming and they're
But there-
like,
He
we'll
was
bring out our
Godzilla.
short girls.
No, but
It's
when I
weird
was
because
there-
the women average height felt like it was like 5'6", 5'5", but then the males, for some weird reason, was like 5'5",
Bro,
5'5",
Japan?
you have to
5'4".
look at their feet.
They're all wearing
That's
platforms.
it's all platform. Because I checked that shit out. Because I was like, why are all the girls taller than the guys? And I looked at their feet, and they all had these fucking platform shoes.
Damn.
Oh, like those fucking-
So
what
now
are they
you're
called
competing
again?
with the
Doc-
shoes
What are
too.
they called again? Those
Yo.
Doc Evans or some shit like that? What you probably know, but like the
Doc Martens.
Doc Martens. Like a lot of them had that.
Doc Evans.
Doc. I don't
You
know.
went for any name and you went for
I
Evans.
went for Evans. It sounded white. So
Anyways.
went with-
Yeah.
I'll bring it back to this. Do you guys even know what it entails, the leg surgery for it?
They
to get
break
knowledge?
the shins and
Shins.
put. Yeah, it's the shin, right?
No.
It's not the
The
shin.
knees.
No. It's the. Oh, well, I mean, I'll explain
They
it.
bring a taller person's legs. A taller person has to die, donate their legs to you.
They
And they
and then
chop
they
it
gotta
off and
they gotta surgically
they
give you a
graph it
taller
back
person.
in.
I thought it was
I
like
know they
I thought it was like
don't.
Mr.
There's
Potato.
a case in Mexico where a guy got a tall lady's legs.
Yeah. But limb lengthening, like the name says, is a surgery that extends the limbs of a person. It could be arms or legs. So it's not even just specifically legs. It can be for arms as well. The surgery.
Imagine having
Go.
a fucking lanky, lanky arms scraping the knees and
You have
shit.
a 2 foot forearm.
You just want to be the best Chad, just swinging wildly your arms whenever
Yeah.
you walk. That's what you want.
You know what I would do though? I'd probably get like the finger lengthening surgery.
What?
So
You can be like
Baba
you can be
Dude?
like ET.
Yeah, and then like
Oh my
when I go down
God.
on my girl,
Go down.
What, from like the across the room, and you're just
yeah,
like,
yeah, she's cooking dinner and I just go like around the kitchen, like the kitchen.
Yeah,
room.
you could put it in there and it could glow and you could see it from her stomach.
You're at a restaurant just going.
All right, classy show.
classy show.
the surgery consists of cutting the bones in two separate areas.
Oh my god, that's disgusting.
I'm not even done yet.
Stop. I quit.
I quit. I'm taking a walk.
It's the femur or the
Too hot for
tibia
this shit.
for the legs, and the humerus and the radius for the arms. From then on, there are two methods of lengthening the bone. The first method is called the external fixation. They attach metal rods to the bone and install metal frames encompassing the leg in this sort of cylinder prison with metal rods poking out of the leg.
Imagine like you're walking, like like at night when you like stub your tibia,
Oh,
your
yeah.
tibia like on a
Mm.
fucking like the bed frame or some shit. But
Yeah.
imagine like your fucking rod just like clips onto your clothes or some shit while you're walking,
Ah.
and it's just like you feel the pain like deep inside your bones. You know what I mean? Sorry, I'm just I'm trying to make them queasy.
Oh, that's great. This is a queasy episode.
So
oh,
there you go.
yum.
So,
So,
like-
it looks like the thing that Forrest Gump has,
Ah,
but on your
yeah.
legs. So you can. Oh wait, the Forrest Gump has it on his legs.
Yeah.
So
Was
Forrest
Forrest
is a
Gump
short
trying
king?
to get? Was Forrest Gump a short king?
Damn.
No,
Forrest
More on that
Gump
one.
is crippled, bro.
I mean, he wasn't just crippled.
He wasn't retarded. He was just short.
I wasn't gonna say that. Nick said it. Nick went for it. I love you, Jenny.
I love you, Jenny. Now I can walk.
I don't know why height would matter, Jenny. The boys on this
short king,
podcast
Jenny.
said that women who don't appreciate height are low value women.
But like, speaking of the Forrest Gump contraption that he had, it's a method that came from a guy called Gavril Ilizarov.
I knew you were gonna have trouble with that.
Yeah, it's hard. Gavril Ilizarov.
Yizarov.
Yizarov?
I think that's.
No,
probably
I
it.
heard them say it otherwise. Anyway,
I
Yizarov.
didn't.
It
listen.
flows better on the tongue, so I'll go.
I'm
for it.
gonna say
Yizarov.
Yizarov.
The boy.
It's
He
called
must be
the-
good with the ladies.
It's called the Yizarov apparatus.
That was nice.
What?
That was Yizarov.
Yizarov?
That was nice.
That was nice.
Good.
Thanks.
Anyways.
Sexy
Wow,
read.
thanks, guys.
Wow.
Nice.
Fucking sizzle.
It's called the Yizarov apparatus. Yizarov was a Soviet surgeon who further developed the method in 1951 as a possible fix for limb discrepancy and to heal bone fractures. So, in that movie, Forrest Gump did have problems with his legs.
Oh,
Yep.
So that was a method that was used not really for lengthening the legs. It was
just
much
kinda
more to
straightening, strengthen them up.
exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is mostly used to correct limb deformities.
But it was technically like he had like drills like in the
Ugh.
knees, like
Yeah.
right here. That would be fucking
And he
pain.
just broke them off by running.
yeah. No, it's 'cause he runs so fast.
He ran so fast. That boy runs so fast.
So much
He broke them
dedication.
That
Need to
boy
make
can
sure.
run.
Did he have that, or was it a different contraption? Because now I'm thinking about it. Did he have it, or
No,
did
Those
he
no.
think
things
a
were
different
screwed
contraption?
into his legs. That
Was
kid
it-
would have been
That's
screamed.
the thing. The more I'm thinking about it, I'm like, wait a minute.
I
If
don't
he
think-
ran that out,
I don't think it was bolted into
I don't
like.
think.
I think it
Then
was
I don't
bolted
think he had
against.
that. I don't
Yeah.
think it's that. Well, because I don't think it was.
It
Because
just looks like
the
that.
timing when because like when it was developed, it wasn't really at that time. For a long time, Yizarov faced skepticism, resistance, and political intrigues from the medical establishment in Moscow, which tried to defame him as a quack.
That man right there is a duck.
Out of all places that think that he's a quack,
How dare you call me the duck?
the one that
Just because I like to eat bread scattered across the room.
ones that sent the fucking dog to space are telling him that.
The steadily increasing statistics of successful treatments of patients led to a growing fame of Yizarov throughout the country. He became known among patients as a magician from Kurgan. In 1968, Yizarov defended his doctoral thesis in Perm and was awarded the title of Doctor of Sciences. I love that title.
That sounds
That's
fake.
the greatest title.
That
Doctor
sounds fake.
of Sciences, of all sciences. by
So
the
he
way.
had 2 MDs.
Yes, I am doctor.
I am Doctor of
Doctor of what?
Sciences.
Of sciences.
Was he also a Navy SEAL when he was young?
He's the doctor of Navy SEALs.
He's the doctor of Navy SEAls.
You trying to find your another
Just
Hoffman?
in
Whatever.
general.
Just lies.
Oh, I love this. Bypassing the candidate of science, by the way. So there was a candidate of science, but he's now the doctor of science. He's the- there you go. He bypassed it. He's
That's
so good. He's
crazy.
not
He's
a
Russian,
candidate
so
anymore.
clever.
He
So
went
clever.
from learning science to being just a doctor of it.
Being the doctor of science.
It's like hiding his real credentials under a series of babushka dolls of different titles.
He was actually
Blah,
just
blah,
like
blah.
the dentist of the medical world.
He's just a chiropractor.
Oh God.
A leg chiropractor
He
specifically.
just like down elbows these people's legs, being like, "You're tall now."
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. He bypassed the candidate of science degree for which the thesis had originally been prepared. A breakthrough came in 1968 when Yizarov successfully operated on Valerie Brumel, the 1964 Olympic champion and longtime world record holder in the men's high jump, who injured his right leg in a motorcycle accident.
Now,
His name was Valerie?
did he keep competing?
Valerie.
I forget that Russians can name their sons like girls.
Valerie.
Valerie.
Leslie. You know, Leslie.
My
is
mom's
named
name
too.
is Leslie.
Well, some guys' names are Leslie too.
What are you trying to say?
Some girls are
Trying
called
to
Jordan.
say your mom's a man.
Trying to say my mom's a man. She gave birth to me.
She a real pretty man.
God damn it.
There used to be this old theory when you were in the 70s and 60s and 80s. Like if you name your kids like a female's name, they'll grow up to be strong.
Oh, from
Oh,
the
because
bullying.
they gotta
Yeah, from all the
overcome-
bullying.
From the
They
bullying.
gotta,
Yeah.
they gotta overcome a name like that.
Yeah,
So they
gotta
either kill
overcome the fight.
themselves or get tough.
That's the thing. That's
Leslie,
from the
Nice.
get go.
Leslie Nielsen.
Leslie Nielsen. You kill yourself, get tough, or be funny.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
If you end
You
up
guys got 3 choices.
Yeah, three
Three
choices.
choices, man. So yes, the 1964 Olympic champion and longtime world record holder in the men's high jump, he injured his right leg in a motorcycle accident. Before coming to Yizarov, Brumel spent about 3 years for unsuccessful treatments in various clinics and underwent 7 invasive and 25 non-invasive surgeries. No, like that was he was going through different doctors
yeah.
that could not get the surgeries done and everything, and
Oh,
Yizarov came up with this external device that could help him with it.
One of them just told him to soak his legs in vodka or something.
That was a
pain means you're becoming a
What
real
do you
man.
mean?
that was
No.
a non-invasive surgery.
I mean, what was it? I think that guy's oh no, he is Russian. I thought it was Italian.
Potato
that
can
would have been
grow
really funny.
and recover in all conditions. That is why we dip your legs in vodka so they can grow and recover in all positions.
The surgery was revolutionary, and Dr. Yizarov became famous for the feat of extending limbs. The practice became popular, and Dr. Yizarov gave multiple lectures to aspiring surgeons coming from around the world who wanted to learn how to perform the surgery. Amongst these aspiring surgeons was Amar Sarin, an orthopedist from India. He was very eager to bring his newfound knowledge to his country, and he recounts being the only brown student attending the lecture.
It was injured Soviet soldiers returning from the Second World War that inspired a doctor in Siberia to come up with this technique that was later hidden from the rest of the world by the Soviet Union.
Silly Soviets.
By the 1990s, Gavril Ilizarov's method was being openly taught at 2 Russian institutes. Dr. Sarin was then training to become an orthopedic surgeon and wanted to learn the procedure, so he enrolled.
I was the only foreigner as a postgraduate student, and that city had never seen an Indian before.
What the fuck is that?
Elizarov's invention was meant for people born with limb deformities or those involved in devastating accidents, not cosmetic
Is
purposes.
that Bricks? He looks exactly how he sounds.
Oh my god, there's so many kids.
Those are the soldiers.
A couple of Russian super soldiers. Their kick has a reach of 5 inches more than the average.
So
I thought he
he's-
replaced one's leg with bricks. I was like,
So-
that's fucked up.
So his stuff actually helped the world in a sense. His revolution there like changed people's lives.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
a good way.
it legitimately did. It was really like,
So-
again, it was made for deformities.
Yeah.
So Yezerov is not actually a quack.
No,
Okay.
no.
He
like,
just ate bread in his
it's because
office.
like imagine 1968 and somebody tells you like, yo, I can like your deformed leg, I can kind of make it grow.
so it's
back.
like braces, but for your leg.
Yeah, it's
Like that's the
exactly
stupidest fucking idea I've ever heard of. Yezerov.
Stop dipping your bread in water.
Of course, an idea as stupid as that comes out of a name as stupid as yours, Yezerov.
Yezerov is a cool name actually.
Yezerov goes back to his office like, they will see. And he's tearing his bread apart and staring in his office.
Because like think about it, it's a crazy surgery too. Because you're also not only saying that, you're also saying that slowly across your recovery, it will stretch out. It like you break the bone. You're telling this to people in the 60s. I'm gonna break your bone. I'm gonna attach metal rods that is slowly gonna pull your bone up, and your bone is gonna regenerate, and then you're gonna have your limb lengthen. Like that's crazy to. But surprisingly, the bone, when you listen to the experts and everything, especially Dr. Izarov, is they found out that the bone is actually pretty easy to grow back.
Yeah, the funny thing
It's
is
like it
nowadays,
regenerates.
nowadays we know this.
Yeah,
But back in the day, like this, I guess it's a fairly new discovery.
exactly.
It's like a bone graft I got on my shoulder. Like it's reattached to
Yeah.
the graft. Like
Yeah.
it's just
The issue is most with the muscle. The muscle takes a longer time to regenerate and has different risks that I'm gonna talk about later.
That was a good little scientific portion.
we might actually sound smart now.
Yeah, yeah, good.
Crazy.
It was good to have some of that.
Now in India, the surgery is considered a cosmetic one. It's also very controversial and socially unacceptable to get it. And yet Dr. Saran is highly sought after around the world and of course in India. He explains why in the documentary. There's another.
Wait, was he Indian or Russian?
He's
He
Indian.
was in. Great.
He's
But
Indian.
he did
Yeah.
most of his work in India.
Yes, because he went to study there because Dr. Izarov was like amongst the first and he was doing lectures. And at the time, he was very interested in learning. Anybody that was interested, that was an orthopedist or like just a doctor, would come and see.
This is not the same person we were talking about before.
Yeah, that guy threw me off.
You figured that out?
That guy threw me off.
It for the last 20 years, but there is a tremendous growth in patients, and they voluntarily come to become tall.
He gets calls from all over the world and all over India from people who believe their height is ruining their lives. 9 out of 10 of them are men.
The best thing is when you interact with anybody, you have to come eyes to eye. Short people, for them, it's a real stigma. If you're to see your opponent or anybody, whether it is your senior or junior, and if you're to look up, you are morally and emotionally already defeated.
Deciding just who gets the surgery and who does not can put the doctor in a very difficult position.
Any of these people who come, they are little bit off balance and emotionally and hurt, and it's very difficult to say no. No, means they don't accept it. A person has come motivated and you say you are not the ideal candidate, right? And they get very upset and annoyed. One fellow in front of me broke glass. One fellow threw a paperweight on me.
That's why I said he's like he was describing his.
So he got bullied. They fucking threw shit at him. He's like, is he a bad guy?
No, it's. He's not a bad guy. He's very much of his profession. He can do this. He knows there's people that want it.
Opportunist.
Yeah.
He's an opportunist.
I'd say he's more an
Okay.
opportunist. I'd hesitate to really call it a bad guy because
I was gonna bring it to Martin Sempa comparisons, but I'm not gonna do that. Then.
No.
feel like
He's
it's
not.
not bad.
He's not.
I
he's
seen a
not bad.
documentary. I think it was like on Vice about this,
Mm.
and I remember everyone in there was kind of the. It's almost like if I don't do it, someone else is gonna do it.
Yeah.
True that. So
Well,
might
like-
as well do it in a
and-
way that's not gonna be harmful.
And people do
Say,
want it.
No.
Yeah.
So it's like these people, like
If you
if you
want
can
it,
make
want
them
it.
happy,
Yeah.
it's like a facelift or whatever. Where it's like people don't need this, but
They
Yeah.
want it.
They'll
If
pay
you
for it.
if you find an audience for something,
Yeah.
people are gonna be opportunists and
If there's
take
a
it.
demand,
Yeah.
might as well.
Exactly.
make
Might as
some
well
money.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah. For the surgery that Dr. Surin conducts, it doesn't really mean that just anybody can get the surgery, let alone be able to withstand it. Remember how I described it? This bone is broken to allow the metal rod to be inserted and then slowly will extend it to add centimeters to your height. But that's over a process. And it's not just the first surgery. You have to do, and anytime you want an extra few centimeters, you have to do another surgery again.
It's like that little
Oh, it just
fucking.
sounds
It's like that
incredibly
little thing you
uncomfortable.
gotta wind up so that it just
Yeah.
fucking splits.
Yeah.
up.
so fucked up.
I hate that shit.
I already have leg problems, so every
For
time
some
every
reason,
time I hear about this,
I get
quease.
the image of that corkscrew.
yeah.
I don't know why. I get that image.
That is a visceral image.
But that's what I'm
Jesus.
thinking of, If I wrote this in a book, that's the thing I would use to describe this.
You know how, it's funny because I don't think about it as when it's slowly doing, because it's so slow that you won't, you'll definitely feel it. I'm not saying you won't feel it. You'll feel it, but you won't really notice how tall you are until you finally get up. Like you won't see the length coming. What it makes me cringe in the way that's painful is just, I know bones are good to be rebuilt, but for some reason my mind goes to oh man, you're so fragile. It feels like anything can just fucking topple you over. Even though it's not even
my God.
completely truthful. When I found it's just something that's in my
Yeah,
brain.
if the scooter hits you on the shin, you fucking break apart.
I've had
on the
a
spot.
lot of
It's not good.
leg injuries, like ankle twists and painful
On the
shin
tibia
hits,
and everything?
very a lot.
He's
Now-
constantly on his knees.
all the time.
Begging,
it's such a hard
please.
That
thing.
makes a living.
Begging
No,
you,
it's 'cause,
please.
when I skateboard, it hurts. It hurts like a bitch when you get the board right to your shin.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
for me, every time we talk about this, and I'm I imagine it opening. It's like taking that little shin hit with a fucking wooden piece of board, and then it's just amplified times 100.
You want a painful, visceral story? My brother's tibia was broken by he was playing soccer and a goalkeeper.
I don't want to
Oh
hear.
yeah,
tackled him.
Yeah, you told
by
me.
kind of a slide tackle.
Oh shit.
Well, kind of knee.
Yeah, the
So his knee hit my brother's tibia, snapped it. Yeah.
shit. Now I understand
That
why
was
they
a
roll so much in soccer.
career-ending
I'm
injury, kind
fuck
of,
no.
That sounds
That's
hurt.
crazy.
Shout out
Yeah,
to
it
my
is.
brother. That was a brutal.
He's a
injury.
cute baby.
My nephew's amazing. Shout out to,
He's
shout out
gonna
to
have
my
stronger
nephew,
shin.
dog.
Yeah, to a nephew.
He's got an
Stronger
amazing
than
nephew.
yes.
We're gonna beat the shit out of whoever broke his shin.
Fuck.
You guys just talked about how queasy all made you feel, but I do have an example.
Oh, we got
it's not a
video
real it's-
example?
You won't see
my
the
leg
person.
already-
It's
Can
just gonna be
you say, remember earlier when I said, oh yeah, they break the shin?
yeah.
And you were like, no.
Because I forgot
Screw
that
you.
shin is and tibias are kind of the same.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
I
was
genuinely
fucking
forgot.
right.
I'm so sorry.
exactly
I never, because when I hear shins, for some reason, I hear it here. I
Yeah.
don't know why. I'm thinking of ankle and shins for some reason.
no.
So you are right.
Yeah.
I am sorry. I'm
No,
sorry,
you're
guys.
stupid, and I was stupid.
Somebody's anatomy classes are further away.
I didn't learn it in English. I learned it in French.
So it's number 4, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
External device. You can see the wires.
An intramedullary nail is drilled into the tibia bone and fixed to frames that hold everything in place after the bones are broken.
Ah, shit.
The rods
Oh,
holding
hell
these
no.
frames, known as distractors, are then expanded each day following the operation as the bones regenerate to fill the
Oh,
gap.
that's nasty.
Ay, caramba.
The range of height gain is about 7 to 14 centimeters.
Holy shit!
I
When you
could
lengthen
not.
7 to
a
14
bone, the bone
centimeters?
lengthens very.
That's like half a ruler. I'm perfect. No, listen. I'm perfect for American audiences because I literally measure. I got the weird methods of measurement like they do.
He measures like a stupid person.
He measures like a stupid person.
It's like,
Like
three
that's-
full couches.
It's like 3 hamburgers stacked together.
Instead of saying a yard, he's like, that's 14 plants long.
Yeah,
It's like 2 Big Macs and a junior chicken.
that's about 17 purses away.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
like,
like half a centimeter.
you-
half a ruler. My bad. Half a ruler.
It's
They-
1
it's
centimeter less than half
A ruler is
Yeah,
30
exactly.
centimeters. Fun fact.
Yeah.
so yeah, you can
What the
get
fuck
up
is-
to like 7.
Are
between
American
7
rulers in centimeters?
They have both sides
Yeah.
usually.
They have both
Inches and
sides.
centimeters.
Yeah.
You know how
Only-
we had every Canadian had
They
that.
don't even use the metric system though. So why would they have?
Except for guns.
You know how they had that? We had that 6-inch ruler.
Yeah.
Everybody had that 6-inch ruler for no reason.
Yeah.
Well, they have the 6-inch in centimeters. We have the 30 centimeter.
They have the foot long.
They have the foot. Yeah, they have the foot,
foot long.
We have the
The foot
12 foot
long
long.
rule.
Hey, John,
What?
I'm proud of you.
John, will you be presenting us some stories now? Now that we've established your intellect.
Yeah.
No, shut up. He wants to do an episode soon.
Oh, really? I'd be down.
He might do he might do an episode.
I'll keep this to myself.
We'll talk about it later.
You can get between like 7 and 14 centimeters, but it depends also on how well your surgeries have gone through. Think about it, because you're not getting all 14
But you know
centimeters.
what's
in
weird
one
about
go.
it is that you're not gonna be like properly proportioned because your arms are still gonna be the same length. Like, aren't your arms and legs the same length normally?
Yeah,
That's a
but
good point.
honestly,
kind of weird looking, right?
He's gonna be a weird.
Kind
be
of
like-
like bird looking.
You can be like long legs, short arms.
You're gonna be like a
you
fucking
know,
ostrich.
weirdly enough, you see I'll show you guys pictures of some people, and honestly, it's not too off, just because like the arms still kind of go,
with the body.
yeah, like go towards the thighs
They go
or
for the
like there.
torso, yeah.
So you don't see it so disproportionate. I'd say like if you're really vigilant, when they sit down, you'll notice that they like their heights haven't really changed because it's all in the legs. It's
Also,
not with the
they're probably
torso.
not that pretty to begin with, so you probably don't look at them anyway, right?
I would beg to differ. There's one guy I was like,
Everybody's
nice.
beautiful.
But
I
honestly,
felt bad because he was very short, so I'm like, okay, I think I get why you did that, maybe for personal reasons, but I was just like,
If
No, but
literally,
Priscilla made a
literally
good point.
that's the only thing you're missing to be a 10.
is
Get it.
being tall.
Get it.
Get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get
Just a fuck ton of money and like 10 years
I'm like,
of your
me
life.
being
is
taller
money,
would
though.
only make me like a 7 or an 8. So I like. I'm not gonna do
John's
that much.
fishing for compliments right now.
You look great.
We are not going to respond
look
to
No, but I'm
this.
like, I think the shortness is part of the thing. I'm funny. I'm short and funny.
There you go. So
now
you're,
he's
you're already
complimenting
at it.
himself because we didn't give him a
now,
compliment.
now we have the.
No, but like
You're so smart too.
Not everyone has the go ahead for the surgery. Dr. Sarin conducts his own little psych test on his potential future patients to determine if they are apt to undergo the process. As you can imagine, this surgery is not without risk, nor without a lengthy healing process time. No pun intended. I just saw that I wrote lengthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, boy. Yeah, I like
That ain't the only thing that's long on this podcast.
Tell me about the girth, baby.
You know what I mean? Priscilla lengthy, man.
Our random fucking segues are lengthy. Yeah, boy. You know what's not lengthy? Our attention spans. Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy.
Goldfish memory, baby.
Yeah.
It can take a few months to a year to properly recover from surgery. Actually, scratch a year. It can take kind of 2-3 depending too.
But
And
that
it
means
is-
that so
Go for it.
every procedure, how many centimeters can you grow from one procedure?
So I think the first, again, it depends. It really depends on how you recover. So there, some
14.
people.
So your first recovery is like, let's try this.
That's the thing. Like the first, like some of his patients, he has some like they're blurred. They don't want their faces to be known, obviously. And one of them was going through it, and because the procedure got a bit complicated, and it didn't fully work out well, and because he kind of wanted to speed up his recovery, he gained about like 0.3 inches, which was less than he expected, like way less.
What I would
and that
expect
means
is
he needs to do
0.5
another.
about. Yeah.
That's a thing. So like sometimes it's 0.5. If it's really good, maybe you're getting
0.3 inches.
But
Yeah.
the wildest thing is,
And you
let's
have to
say
do
let's say
more.
you have your first procedure
Yeah.
when you're like 22, 23, right?
Yeah.
That's what it makes sense. You're like,
You know,
that's when like men stop growing. So then you would be like, okay, this is what I'm going to be stuck with for the rest of my life. Then you're like, okay, now I'm going to start these procedures, and then you grow like 0.5 every year.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say every year that you recover. That's like most of your life is going to be spent recovering from it. Then you're going to be like 45. Then you're finally going to enjoy being tall. But at that point, you're like in MILF territory.
Anyway,
know?
you get shorter as you get older.
So then you'd grow, but then lose at least 2 inches.
Yeah, so you're like,
When you're 65,
Yeah.
you're short.
because
But
your
like,
posture and everything also influences.
Moral of
that.
the
So
story
you
is-
start to feel you start to feel shorter to other people too.
Moral of the story is accept what you are. Be happy
Love
with your height.
yourself.
Love yourself.
Unless you're
You
4
know what?
feet tall.
I want to get back on that particular type of thought, but like later.
You're American. So 3.5 inches equals 1 inch, right?
The conversion rate is
I'm
crazy.
just, that's what it
If
is,
I'm not
right?
growing at least an average size dick bigger, then I don't want to grow.
But they say what by what 65 or 70 you
I'm just
lose
trying
an
to
inch and a half?
measure in terms of Americans. How many cock lengths bigger
if
am
you're
I getting?
6 foot Canadian, you're like 5.7 American.
What kind of cock are we talking about? Are we talking Italian or are we talking like Zimbabwe cock?
We're talking about like 20 Ron Jeremy cocks.
I don't know, man. Zimbabwean cock. I don't think
Maybe he's
anybody-
trying to relate with himself.
New England cock, I think.
Mewing.
Yeah, not so good.
You can mute
that
the-
don't go too far. We just lost like 20 New Englandites.
Is it cold? Questions to
Real
ask.
quick. But for the 0.3,
Cold
that,
talk?
that is him. There are other surgeries when it's not in India, like in Western, you get better results.
Yeah, because
Okay.
you eat better, probably.
Yeah. But you are on a good thing because it does take a lot of physiotherapy afterwards.
Yeah.
Like that's why I said like 1 to 2 years is when you. It's not like you finally start walking again, as in like after a few months you can walk, but you need like those old like carrier things.
So
Like
it's
the
like
old
a year
people
and a
carrier
half
things.
to get back to
walker,
being
yeah.
normal enough to get another
Normalness to
surgery.
walk. 2 years is when you can really start running a bit back to where you
Nice.
could, because it really is like the bone is pretty quick, but it's the muscle you really
Okay, so
need
you
to go
can kind of
back in
fake it and say you got an injury
for 3
and then,
years.
and then reappear with like I got taller.
You're 26.
Like
and
how'd you get
grew.
injured? It's like I
At 30 years old.
I accidentally ran into a radioactive like chemical plant.
Yeah.
Can I just
Came
tell
out
you
with taller
guys?
legs.
I'll show you the video later, but that guy that they show, because it's so stigmatized having that surgery.
Yeah.
Which is funny because again in India it's stigmatized being short as a dude. But then
They're
if you
all
have
short.
but well, not all.
Not all of them, but some of them are short.
Yes, but like I think
Most of them are short.
yeah, they're
all short.
They're all short.
in the average, they are not that shorter than the Westerns. Actually,
Us is 5'8".
checked,
Jamie,
they're
what's the
not
average height
as
in
The thing,
the
is, the thing is, they're probably like 5'6", 5'7", so we fit in right there.
You guys
We're
are like
perfect.
5'7", 5'8". That's the average.
But it's like an age. It's same thing.
So
Like,
guys,
I'm-
we could be Indian Godzilla.
Yeah. No, like we be regular. Like in Thailand, I'm like a regular ass dude.
Oh, I
Everyone's
gotta go
my
to
height.
Thailand.
That's about-
You're definitely not right.
Like, I'm just like everyone's
He's
just
like, hell yeah.
5'7", yo.
But that's the thing. That's the average height. So him doing this surgery is still like, it's heavily stigmatized. It's heavily criticized because it's a sign of weakness, almost like because you're doing it.
Because you have to look up to people.
FYI,
You've lost already.
Indians average height
You've
is
lost
5'5".
every conversation. Apparently,
literally, like you said. Well, honestly, it's kind of sad the way they talk about it, but yes, that's a bit the thing. So like he's doing the surgery and he has a wife, by the way, and he said to the wife that I'm going in for tennis elbow. Like he completely lied to her about it. He's like, oh, I've got like a
She's not gonna
tennis elbow.
notice you got fucking taller.
That's what I'm trying to figure out, because when she looks up at you,
Holy
she's gonna
shit,
be like,
it's the
wait
ultimate-
a minute.
It's the ultimate gaslight.
At like 27 years old, you gained 3 inches.
You just gaslight her into thinking you were always this tall.
This is what I mean. I was like, what were you gonna? I think it's a
It's
lot
your
more of a
wife.
forgive and forgive and
I got hit by a car and now I'm 6 inches taller.
What is this level of denial too that you go in for tennis elbow and you come out with fucking casts on your legs?
This is what I meant, because I'm pissed that he went for tennis elbow, because I'm like, man, if you were gonna gaslight her and lie to her and make her look stupid, you could at least bullshit and say it's your legs, not the fucking elbow.
You know what I would do is I would disappear for a night, then have someone call my wife, tell her I got in an accident. My legs are broken. Then she comes visit me and be like, you see, I got casts on my legs. I'm not lying.
Oh, and then you say like, because
Oops,
I have
I'm
a deformity.
magically taller.
I have a deformity, so they had to lengthen.
They have to
They
do
just
it.
had to. Like, I
Yeah.
didn't even want this. They had to.
This man needs fucking marriage counseling, I think.
Honestly, yeah.
Then doctor-
Actually,
Well,
maybe
just
he
tell
needs
your
counseling.
wife. Tell your wife you've
Tell
just
your
always.
wife.
Yeah, just tell your wife
Just
you've
tell-
always identified as a taller man. And now you're finally taking the steps towards becoming
It's like,
that.
I got it.
Then your doctor comes in the room while she's there and he's just like, oh, okay, so we're seeing another year for the 14 inches.
He had to do it. He just wanted to
we
do
were
it.
gonna
really wanted to
escape that
do it.
one.
Wow.
By the way, the Indian average height is 5'5".
I'm taller than the average Indian.
You know what's fucked up though? Canadian average height is 5'10", and we're not there.
I know.
That's what I was
This is
saying.
a problem. This is a problem. This is Canada's problem.
That's why we're
This is a
moving
problem
to
with Canada.
Thailand,
Yeah.
guys.
So we're taller than we
You know,
are.
but you know what? I'm going to say I don't give a shit because I'm tall enough. Now I'm short enough to headbutt you in the cock.
That's true.
All I care about is being tall enough for roller coasters.
I can, I can squat and bull
And I'm
hug
short.
wrench
And I'm
you.
short, so I can distribute that strength and weight really fast.
That is true.
Also, shorter people can survive falls more like shorter people are more likely to survive falls than taller people. That's a fact. Look it up.
I will say taller
You gotta tell
people,
people
as
to
they
look
get
up.
older, they do get a lot more problems.
They
Like,
do.
They
They
do
do.
get a lot more.
There's not natural.
Like if you're like six, because if you are like 6'5", it's pretty bad.
Body shame the perfect.
Body shame.
Body shame the perfect. All right, we got an episode
Yes,
to do. Let's
please.
move on.
Bro,
The risk, though, can be alarming. You can have nerve damage, muscles not forming properly, dislocation, and severe arthritis.
no shit.
In some cases, you can lose your mobility functions altogether.
You know what would really suck though? You spent like 30 years of your life getting to the perfect height, and then you end up with a knee problem. So then it's like you've spent your whole life on your tibia, and then all of a sudden your knee.
I mean,
is
it's not
killing
that
you.
bad because then you're just the average man.
Yeah, but then you have like the knee problem, and you can't walk, and you're like, I just spent so much money on my fucking.
The average man has a knee
tibia.
problem.
Yeah, but you're
Well, I
6
mean,
foot tall with
speaking
a knee
of-
problem. At the barbecue, like everyone else.
Literally everybody.
He's like,
has a
I'm so
problem.
tall.
You're not
like, my
special.
knee hurts.
Yeah, you're not special.
You got a problem. But I'm going to show you guys another clip soon. And I just wanted to say to everybody, like, a lot of this was possible from the CNA Insider documentary, The Extreme Length to Grow Taller, Limb Lengthening Surgery in India, Undercover Asia. Thank you to that video. Thank you to the documentary.
CNA insiders make me taller. Undercover Asia.
Yeah, because they were
Nice.
doing like a whole series in Asia. Like,
Nice.
everywhere
Check
in
that
Asia.
out, baby. It's on YouTube.
It's like season 8 or something. So I was like, oh shit, they have a lot of seasons. But it's pretty cool. I've watched our other stuff.
John, you have something interesting to say?
Oh, my question was the weight distribution. Like, you know how your body is always like
Your
built.
center of gravity?
It's built on your like how your weight is distributed. So we can take John for an example. His calves are big by the way he walks, and also everything is the way it is because of how his body
'cause your
body structure is
feet-
and the way he walks.
Well, you kind
You
of
know what I mean?
Smaller feet would fuck you up.
But then if you get taller out of nowhere, let's say like let's take another example from John. He has big calves. If you stretch out those calves, then those muscles will have to get stretched and also fucked up. You know what I mean? But also then now his top is heavier for the smaller legs that he has. You know what I mean? Like for like the smaller
But it's-
like
that
that is
compact
true, but
legs
that's
that
why
he
I mean
has.
like the physiotherapy is so important and why a lot of them end up having to go to gym a lot more.
But
like
you
even
know what though?
afterwards,
You know,
they
it's-
start
it's not
training
even
a
just
lot
the
more.
legs, it's like the feet. Because if your feet don't grow,
Yeah.
Yeah.
then you can't balance yourself as well.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
imagine
your
a
pink-
tall guy with small feet.
It doesn't work out.
That'd be weird.
You'd fall over.
Yeah,
all
like
the time.
you're 6 feet tall, but then your feet are like fucking
Well,
He's
eight.
like a
It dep-
size 7 or
It
Yeah,
depends
size
though,
7.
because there's some people with small feet, but that are like kind of taller for what they are and
Yeah, but
everything.
they-
But they do have
They-
issues.
They tumble. Then tall boys
But
just be tumble.
that's why they usually have bigger
Nick
feet.
does this trick. Just
It's just because they're taller people, so like the weight is well balanced for the feet to be longer. But
that
if
is
you're
true, but
smaller,
taller
then-
people can take a little bit more weight.
But then you would
as
have
well.
like ankle pains, you would have knee pains, and then you would also have like pelvic pains. Like all this, you know what I mean? Because the weight
Do
distribution.
you have pelvic pains?
No, because I'm short. But I'm saying if I was
I'm not
short,
sure
I
if
don't,
that-
know, I don't know where I was
Listen,
taller.
If you're a tall guy, why don't you email the podcast? That's bvpodcast@gmail.com.
Let us know what you're
Let us
Honestly, I'd have
know.
to
Does
ask
your
my
pelvis
cousins.
hurt?
Why did you have to
Use
go
your
with email? Nobody's gonna email nobody.
Actually, now that it's being used cosmetically,
Yeah.
it's harder to find more long-lasting ones. The ones I do find, the guys seem still fine. I don't know how much they're like emitting from it.
Just
Maybe
really
they
in
have
pain.
pains,
Yeah.
but they're 45 or 50, so that might not even necessarily be pains
Yeah.
addressed to the legs. It might just be, well, you're getting older or you're not as active.
Yeah, but
or
like
anything. So it's very
how shit
nebulous.
how shit is your balance going to be too? Because it's like you like usually you
They
see
do
tall
walk
people,
funny, though, I'm
if
not
you ever
gonna lie.
seen
Yeah.
I don't
They
know-
walk a little funny.
That's
I'm
what
not
I
gonna
mean.
lie.
Just.
But it's like when you're tall, like you have really tall, you get bigger feet, but also like that makes your big toe also longer, so that you can like
Yeah,
weight
like, yeah.
That's
because that's what you
about the
use for
feet.
balance. You use
Yeah.
your toe, you use your
Yeah.
your
That's what I was talking about just before.
yeah, that's what I mean. It's like so your toe is gonna be still small, so then your balance must be dog shit. You know what I mean?
It's not
Yeah.
fully
So you
dog
tumble.
shit.
yeah.
Again, I'll show you
You
guys
must be like
a
tripping
guy.
on shit a lot.
Tripping.
But it's like walking on stilts all of a sudden.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
You guys are talking as if they're walking like ostriches, and they're just
Yeah.
like, oh.
No, but I mean, like, you know how
I assume they're walking like Emma Stone in Poor Things.
It-
she's a, like-
honestly, like for the first few months, yes, but later on when they go in, you can still sense there's a slight discomfort there, but their mobility is there. As in, they're running, they're doing gym.
So they're like big babies.
In the documentary, they introduce a young Indian man by the name of AJ Patel. As a teenager, he measured 1 meter and 20 centimeters. Concerned with the bullying he was facing and social stigma, his mother decided to get him the surgery. He was 13 at the time. Interestingly enough,
that just leads to more bullying.
Interestingly enough,
good
I do
timing.
hear some people, but they're not experts, so that's why I don't want to give them thing. Is
Don't give
they,
'em the
they
cred.
had the idea that if you started when you were still developing, more towards 16, 17, it might even be faster, your recovery process, because
Yeah.
you are growing. So
You
I'm
are
like,
growing,
And
yeah.
more natural. Like braces. I got them as a teenager, and that shit like works a lot better.
that's the thing.
Wow.
So
Just smile right
there
now at
might
the
be a
camera.
thing.
Oh my God, he's handsome.
It might be a thing, but the thing is, it's like my brother, he, like I have my middle brother, he used to be shorter for a good while my older brother like immediately was like 6 foot. And at some point later on in his teenagehood, he shot up. Maybe like, what if he did that surgery and then it fucks up
Yes.
the growth already, or just adds way more than he needed? He was already growing.
Then he becomes a tree.
Honestly, he would have been so happy if he was older, like even taller than my older brother. Like that's a source of fighting all the time.
thought you were-
That's what happened with me and my brother.
Yeah,
Bro. Like
they-
I was
they
told I
come
was
up to
shorter than
me-
him for one summer.
He comes up to me and he's like, "Yo, I'm taller, right?" And like any other thing, he's like, "Yeah, but I'm taller than Mark." And like he will always say that shit. I'm like, Jesus
I
Christ.
use that
Like,
shit all
because
the
of
time,
same
bro.
way.
Yeah, but-
Listen, Mark, it's nothing to be ashamed about.
In the documentary, they introduce a young Indian man by the name of AJ Patel. As a teenager, he measured 1 meter and 20 centimeters. Concerned with the bullying he was facing and social stigma, his mother decided to get him the surgery. He was 13 at the time. They got an orthopedic specialist who admitted how it was really going to go. At first, they didn't even know it was going to be a surgery. Like they almost sold it as if it was like some pill he was going to take. And again, he was young. So when you're young, you kind of think you're like, oh shit, like I'm just going to be taller now. Like
Yeah.
cool. Then after, they had no idea how invasive the surgery was going to get. So like
Screws inside your leg.
the more it was going, the more he was like, oh, okay, so I guess it's going to be surgery. And then they're like, oh, we're going to put a metal rod. And then his thought was like, oh, it's going to be completely outside, as in it's just something outside pulling through. They didn't tell him it was actually going to go in.
As a teenager, AJ Patel had grown to just 1 meter 20 tall and was being teased in high school. So he and his mother decided to seek help. They were referred to a female orthopedic specialist.
1 फीट या 1 फीट बताया था उन्होंने मुझे तो मैं काफी खुश हो गया
Homie's still driving though. Big ups to him.
तब मेरी उम्र
You
13 या 14 साल
You need 1 foot.
एकदम नाजुक
You need 1 foot, but maybe it was the foot that was operated.
बट मुझे नहीं मालूम
'Cause you don't grow on 1 foot.
I don't know which one is AJ. You showed me a whole family.
The older one.
It could be the girls for all I care. Ew.
Damn.
That was nasty.
He looks like he got fucked up.
His legs look like 2 Subway sandwiches.
होश में आया तब मुझे पता चला
Like those Italian flying Arab sandwiches.
Yeah.
तब मुझे बहुत
Yeah. So, as with every clip, you could find it in the visual companions. That one was in Hindu, I think.
Just don't text and drive.
I don't want to be racist.
No, but guys,
And
like,
I don't want to
what's-
be ignorant and not say the proper language, but that was in. I'm going to say.
What the fuck happened to his
In
legs
the-
at the end?
Oh, my bad.
He got in an accident.
He and his mother were lied to, or at least lied by omission, on a very invasive surgery that needed extensive aftercare to be able to heal properly. So like how he was talking about, again, like they had no idea. She barely really explained exactly what was going on. Didn't even really fully know that he was supposed to have a physiotherapy. He's supposed to not walk that much. When you do this surgery, you have a whole year of not working, or at least if you're working, it better be like on the computer.
On a fucking computer.
Yeah,
better
like,
be
if
driving.
you're a construction worker, if you're doing
Well,
anything, you're not doing this.
I hear there's a lot of telemarketing jobs over there. What? I'm not wrong.
I mean, like, to be fair, it's
I'm
like
not
well, I mean, no, he was like
It's a
14
really
years old, so
technical
he's not
job.
working. He's not working. But the thing is,
If you think I'm wrong, literally pick a company, call customer service right now.
that is true. That is true.
Fucking just call
At
Uber.
nighttime. At nighttime.
Yeah, call customer service at night.
But yeah, like, well, I mean, he was 14, so he doesn't need to work like for now. But yeah, they didn't tell him how to properly do the aftercare. So the lesions that you saw, like the damage and everything, he
Yeah.
contracted an infection because the surgery
hell
went well.
no.
Yeah, and for
Oh, fuck
the
that.
first 2
The
months,
doctors are like the street food. They don't clean their hands.
You motherfucker.
Jesus Christ.
I can't. I'm relapsing, man.
You had to take it there. God damn it.
So
I was like holding it. You know what I mean?
God damn it. All right.
the surgery, he contracted an infection, and for the first 2 months of it, he couldn't eat properly, he couldn't walk at all, and he could barely even drink.
What's he eat with his legs? What the hell? Why couldn't he eat?
Well, it made him so sick. Like he was physically sick as
That's
well.
crazy.
Like the pain was he says that the pain was so unbearable that, again, as a 14-year-old, like months into it, because they had to redo surgeries and they kept failing.
Oh, man.
So like he was
Sometimes
saddled
you
with
just
this.
gotta Give up.
He was saddled with this for 3 years. He
Oh
said
my
that at some point he said like, "Mom, just put poison in my food and let me die." Like at 14.
Oh my god!
Like, he was
That's
already
just
like, I'm good.
horrible.
You
And
just
imagine
get
me out.
bullied. Just get bullied, dude.
imagine
funny.
doing that.
Just eat street food.
I'm gonna say. I will say. What an ungrateful fucking kid, okay? Because first of all, he complained to the point. No. Hold on. No. Bear with me.
I could be racist, but what the fuck?
He's right. He's right.
I know he's gonna be on my end. He was complaining about
'Cause he's a
being bullied.
cocksucker.
His mom was fucking chill enough to raise some money and get him that surgery. Now he's like, "Mom, just fucking kill me, and nothing's worse than this surgery you got me."
Kill him. We don't need people like that.
The mom could have at least said like, "Hey, let's wait until you fucking grow a little older."
I'm just
But it
saying,
was
this was
It is bad
the
parenting.
social.
This is bad parenting, but still cool mom. Bad parenting, cool mom, but
It was a mom that was
ungrateful
trying to be
kid.
understanding, especially in a caste system like India. So I do think I understand what she was doing. She was probably investing in his future.
It's like mom, like shit fucking sucks. I'm being bullied because I can't play with firecrackers. And like, okay, I'll buy you firecrackers. And mom, you fucking suck. I blew my hand off with these firecrackers.
We're attributing really Western stuff on this, but like, if you guys don't know, like, there's a caste system there that is pretty horrendous in India, where it's like a very outdated system of they used to categorize people into like I think 5 different castes. So like people on top obviously were like doctors, teachers, blah blah, blah and everything, and then people at the bottom.
And then short people was in one of those castes.
The short people were
the bottom
at the
cast
bottom.
was short motherfuckers.
So like they were like the farmers and everything. And
This is where we put the shorties.
he doesn't
In
get
the
to
fields.
like
They
it's
just put them in a truck to go in the fields.
I always get bashed for doing what everybody else does. Just a little bit
The
more
difference is mine is tasteful.
oh really? Okay,
Oh,
sure.
really? Took a fucking drive-by, shot him twice in the knees.
John, we're white. We have to watch out.
I don't care if I'm white.
But like that casteism is pretty horrible, and they banished it. But you know, you banish it, but it doesn't leave people's consciousness, so it's still upheld.
I banished thee.
Sure.
That was the worst. That was like,
After all
take
of that,
him
he's
out.
like, I gotta put one in.
Wow, guys.
Fuck you.
So insensitive.
You were saying,
To be
please.
eligible to be like a good marriage partner,
be a
especially if you're in a
bachelor.
low caste, like a eligible.
You gotta be
bachelor.
tall?
Well,
Men are
I mean, like
extremely
they're
outnumbered.
looking for tall jeans, tall
5'7".
this and everything. If you're already
We're
poor,
okay,
you
guys.
still have the discrimination of trying to be better, trying to at least
Oh my
reach higher
God.
heights and everything. It's better opportunities for you.
I thought
Literally
the only requirement was being able to dance.
in India.
Or being good
Yeah.
with computers.
You, if you hear music playing on the street, you better be ready to join the dance number. You're never gonna be in a Vijay movie like that. Now that's
never
a
gonna
deep
be in a
cut. That's a
Dharma.
deep cut for my Indian homies. For my Bollywood loving homies, that's a deep cut.
But for this surgery, because they were like poor, and I will say that this surgery is something that a lot of doctors have. How do I say it? They try to peddle it as if they know everything about it, that they can do it for you very cheap. Because already in India, for Dr. Sarin, he charges $20,000 US dollars, which in the Western world and in Turkey, it's around 80,000 to 100,000 for that.
Oh, so that's a
surgery
good
to
deal.
do. So it's a good deal, yes.
Yeah.
But
These are
what
good results.
these the parents of the mother of Patel did, they're poor. They weren't gonna get
Yeah, I was about to
$20,000.
say, they didn't look like they were very rich people.
They paid $3,000 for it. So, and again, it's just
They got it on Wish.
I
That's
understand
the-
it
yeah,
because
that's the Wish
they
version.
had a doctor that presented herself as like somebody that could do it,
Oh,
but
no.
she barely knew about it, and she referred them to another specialist. They say that they think they were experimenting on him because they were
Oh,
like they were
my
trying to find out if it could work on a child. So this is what I'm. This is the
Was
scam.
this doctor also a woman?
No, I think it was a man.
Okay.
You were gonna say?
No, I was just curious.
Nothing? Okay.
I was just curious.
The reason why he's walking is because the other doctor that they got actually worked.
The woman doctor.
No, the man.
Oh. I was
Why are you so concerned about the sex of the doctor?
The reason why he can walk today is that they did end up getting an actual, like, well, I mean, the other two are specialists, but he actually ended up getting one that fixed his problems, actually did a good surgery.
Was he
to
Russian?
make him, no
Did
idea.
they just grate?
was
Did
it
they
the
just
homie?
Did they just use a cheese grater to grate off the nasty scabs on his legs?
no.
Did I look now?
I
you're
think they're
fixed.
still there too.
Now you're fixed.
But they also realize it's the reason why he was so short at the time is
He was 14.
He's Indian
when he was
and short.
no, because he was way shorter than the normal 14-year-old as well. They realized it's because he legit had a deformity, and he could have grown naturally if that was seen earlier by the previous doctors.
What
if
the
they
hell?
had seen that, they probably could have done something, and he would have maybe shot up. Like maybe he would have gained some height on its own.
What kind of weird
yeah.
mushrooms that they got in India?
Indian Yao Ming, bro.
Them deformities happens to everybody.
The leader of the country.
The leader of the country.
Yao Patel.
Yao
Yao Singh.
Yao Patel.
But like these cases like that, they're not isolated cases, especially in India. Again, I suspect it comes from quacks, cheap doctors willing to do this from a quick buck, quack, quack. And of course, the
fucking
people
children.
who don't have the money or the people who don't want to pay too much, this surgery already comes with a lot of significant risks, especially for him. He literally couldn't walk and was in pain every day for 3 years. It's appalling to have doctors not even advise or warn their patients about the aftercare and the process of it.
It's better than being a short king
probably
for
didn't,
life,
though.
right?
I'd rather not be able to walk than be short, so that at least when I'm in a wheelchair, they can understand.
At least when I'm in a wheelchair, they know why I'm short.
So people
Because I'm
can
actually on
pity you.
wheels.
I'm on wheels.
God damn.
I don't need no legs. I'm on wheels. Let's go, baby. I
Bro,
can
just
drive you
lift
anywhere.
weights, man. You'll be fine.
Let's go back to Dr. Surin for a bit. He does this procedure for $20,000, as I've mentioned. Whilst in the United States, they charge over $70,000. Now it's, I think, closer to $100,000 with everything you need to do.
Pregnancy
In Turkey, I think it's close to $80,000, but you at least have
But
you have
they'll
the
do your hair as
aftercare.
well.
They'll
can do a bunch
throw
of
in
crazy
your
shit now.
hair,
They
but
really
they'll
make
take
you
like a
look all-
lung just in case.
Yeah.
They'll be like, we need some extra.
Real
We need
talk,
some
though,
collateral.
Real talk. A guy at my gym. He got his hair done. Looks fucking amazing.
Yeah?
In Turkey,
Look
those
good? I hear
Turks do a
Turkey
great job.
does
Talking about
Turkey,
great hair
Turkey is breaking
transplant.
ground right now.
Yeah,
You're talking
yeah.
about plugs?
It's
Yeah.
good. Hair plugs.
Looks
yeah,
They
yeah.
got,
fucking
like,
great.
yeah.
Yeah, good. Good
Super
for him.
natural.
Yeah, they can help you, John.
The fuck?
I just wanted to plant some anxiety in you.
'Cause I'm the
There's
only one
nothing
wearing
wrong
a
with your
fucking
There's
hat.
nothing wrong with your head
Guys,
at all. I just wanted to
just
make you
For the
nervous.
video. For the video. I
no,
am
his
wearing a
hairline's
hat,
good, too.
but I have curly hair.
Full hair. to
Yeah,
have.
he's got
I
good.
was joking. I just wanted to gaslight you.
I just wanted to
They say-
instill fear
yeah,
in you.
I
like,
told you
I'm-
that since confidence, man.
They said I was
Keep you
too
humble.
anti-women earlier, so I decided to gaslight a man for 2
You said,
seconds.
wait, what? You said you were anti-women, so you attacked them, man.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Let's take this on the
You're
fucking
a hero.
tarmac, man.
Thank you.
I'm a progressive.
This is a progressive misogynist.
Dr. Surin assures that he is a professional that has studied the procedures, which he has. He went through the lectures. He laments being compared to these quacks.
I like how you said that.
Meanwhile, he's got a
What?
Fisher Price license.
he has. He went to the lectures.
Yeah. He went to like a class. He saw that
He's
shit.
writing all his notes with Crayola markers.
Like he does have the most experience out of all of them, and he laments being compared to these quacks that don't know any better and are only there to experiment. He says he vets his patients to see if what they want is possible or even feasible.
Yeah, I would be kind of pissed off if I was being compared to these weirdo Nazi doctor like experimenters.
weird, like, back
What the
alley,
fuck
yeah,
is-
like,
what is
he
this?
is the good guy in all this.
He is.
Yeah.
He's he's
Well-
fucking doing what he's been taught.
Where's our
He's
Russian
not-
brother in all this?
He's dead.
He's dead. He's been dead for
Fuck.
years.
Yizarov, dude.
Also,
No,
not
no,
brother,
depends,
I thought he was
teacher.
the star of the story, bruh.
No.
God.
He is, but like in spirit.
He's the introduction
Because
to the
he's-
story.
No, Yizarov is like the Grandmaster Flash.
Yeah,
But like,
actually, yeah.
but now we're like,
Damn.
yeah.
Like MC Hammer?
No, this guy, he's NC Hammer.
Yeah,
You know, that's a
in more
reference I
ways
can
than
get
See what I
behind.
mean? But like Yizarov was Grandmaster Flash.
That's one I can get. Nick Hammer check the
Yeah.
sizzle.
That's a reference for the 50 and 40-year-olds listening.
That's true. Jesus,
Not the 18 to 25 year
no.
olds.
You have no idea who.
Ask your
Grandmaster
parents
Flash
who
is.
Grandmaster Flash is.
Flash is not the superhero. it's an
Ask a
actual
17-year-old today who Grandmaster Flash is.
Some,
Ask me.
They're gonna think it's a porno.
I have no fucking idea what you're talking about this whole time.
And yet, later in the same documentary, later in the same documentary, he gets a patient that had the surgery for limb deformity.
Sorry, could I just add?
Go.
White Lines by Grandmaster Flash is one of the best fucking songs of all time.
What a fucking stop and
I mean,
God
yes,
damn.
but I the classic will always
the message?
be. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's the only time Grandmaster Flash is going to come up in a podcast for years to come. So it has. To be
we
said.
have literally given Grandmaster Flash its only podcast reference of the 2020s.
Yeah, I don't think anybody has mentioned
general,
him
bro.
anywhere.
Outside of a hip hop
cred.
podcast.
I don't even think
Even
that
hip-hop
either.
podcasts don't talk
Yeah,
about
they
it.
don't talk about
I've
it.
never seen Charlemagne the God talk about this shit.
Charlemagne the God doesn't know shit, but
no,
sure.
knows how to gaslight people.
Yeah.
Yo, no shade though, but you a
Charlemagne
bitch.
the God is more likely to ask about leg lengthening surgery than Grandmaster
actually,
Flash.
yes.
Yeah, for real.
Okay.
We are getting off
Yes.
subject.
And yet,
How do we go so far?
and yet, later in the same documentary, he gets a patient that had the surgery for limb deformity, causing him to have ballerina syndrome. If you don't know what
That
is,
sounds gay.
That sounds very fairy-like. Just saying.
It's him walking on the tip of on your tippy toes.
Oh, I had ballerina syndrome when I was a kid. Yeah.
I mean, you walk every day on your tippy toes.
You had it quite a while, actually.
Yeah.
'Cause I remember in high school you were like this, and I'm like, does he have
Still
like,
today, he
something
walks
maybe?
on his tippy toes.
Every
Not like
now
literally,
and
but like
then.
you put your foot down and then you like always like overextend your tippy toes and then land on your tippy toes. And go back.
Legit.
But you know what? I
Not
do
to
that
put
I
too.
some
use my
fear.
foot to like the full extent that it's
Yeah, but
supposed
like
to go.
every time I see you, like when I see you walk, it's always like the step, like it's always like really focused on the front. Always. That's why, like, that's my hypothesis for why your calves were so big.
But this is how you're supposed to walk, like
It's
in
how
an
you're
apartment
supposed
or
to.
something.
Huh?
Like I walk like that in my house.
Okay,
not bother
wait.
people downstairs.
So I say ballerina syndrome. You say that's gay, and then we establish that John walks this way.
John-
So we
Yeah.
established
And
John
now
is
he's just
gay.
like, you know what? Actually, it's exactly how you are supposed to walk. So he
You're supposed to walk
justified-
pretty gay.
No, but can
He
I
flip-flops,
Can I
man.
just say I've established that John's been gay this like for years now, and only
He's
now
like,
people have figured this shit out.
The only one-
love cock. Cock
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
in all over me. I love it so much. Look at my Pornhub history.
It's
You're
top
gonna
5
see how
playlist.
gay I am.
We have like
He
the
made
eye
his
tracking.
own. He made his own
They only
mixtape
focus
for
on the
fucking.
guys.
So you were
Give me
saying,
all the tests
Ballerina syndrome, which
ballerina syndrome, which John suffers of,
which I
Which
clearly
John-
have,
which is clearly not gay.
because I love to sit on cock.
Well, I said, which is clearly not gay, and I said, keep going, and then you're like, which I love to sit on cock. I love this episode.
he comes to Dr. Sarin to not only correct the previous surgery, but to also add another one to add even more inches to his height. So this man had surgery in the first place to add more inches to his height. Didn't go too well. The way he recovered ended up him having like the ballerina syndrome.
I find that weird that it leads to ballerina syndrome. It's
Not
like
all, but I think
Yeah.
it's probably
how
in
gay
the
can you
nerves,
become
the way the
afterwards?
nerves
no, but it's
work.
more like I would feel like it would lead to like, I don't know, the opposite of that, you know, because like you're not trying to gain more height. So why are you walking like on your tippy toes? It's a
Yeah,
little
but
weird.
doesn't it involve like extending?
Or
your
is it maybe
tibia
because you're just
more than your back?
overestimating?
it's stretching.
No, it's
foot
just,
landing.
it's the stretch of it because you can't even. It's not exact. That's why I'm saying it's not exactly like what you have because you choose. They can't like as in like you immediately.
You choose to be gay.
You,
can't choose.
you heard it
Buy
here
the
first.
cock,
It's
give me the
apparently a
cock.
choice.
I will take it.
One surgery
Multiple.
and you sit.
I
It's
will
a
wash
choice.
them down. I love the cock.
Okay,
but
okay.
that's the thing. It's like the ballerina.
I'm gonna make
syndrome-
my friends. Nick, give me your cock. I'll fucking suck it now. John, give me your cock. I'll fucking suck it now.
I'm in.
I'm so
Turn off the
goddamn
camera.
gay. I could make love to both of your penises right now.
Someone's hetero hitting
You've
on.
never been less gay.
Come on over
The
here.
more you described it, I'm like, this
Let
man.
me kiss your wiener, friend.
But it kind of makes sense why you would get tippy toe syndrome.
That's how you
Because,
yeah,
fight homophobia.
If you look at a leg,
with
like this is much
stronger
worse.
homo.
Can we stop with the gay shit for a second? I'm trying to get
Why?
scientific.
Why are you not proud of it?
No, because I'm not gay. I'm not proud of it. But it kind of makes sense if you look at it from like like your leg stand, why you would get tippy toe. Because if you look at it like this is shorter and then this is like longer, so this can stretch more, but this can't. So it would kind of force you to be like this.
It's
So
your-
you
it's
mean
your
Because this
muscles.
would stretch. and then your calf has more
your
loose.
calf in comparison to your tibia.
Exactly. Yeah.
For
Like
the
I feel like there's
listeners,
less
yeah.
play with this than there is with this.
Mm.
You know, like this can
the
extend.
tension. It's the tension that,
Yeah.
that you get in your calves. So like I have this problem, right, where I get tension in my calves, and so I can be like this, no problem. But as soon as I flip the other way, I get a pull. But so when you have tension in your calf, you actually the tension at pulls makes you point your toes more.
Mm.
That's what they're having. That's what creates.
Interesting.
And
it
that
does
was
grow.
caused with like the kind of like a bad recovery. And I say that because in quotation, because it's kind of like if you're gonna have a bad recovery, that is probably the tamest of what you can have. It's still not ideal,
Yeah, better
but
than not
compared
walking.
to everything, compared to not walking, nerve damage and everything, that's
want
ideal.
to die.
Also, I know this is a rant like here, but I don't think that I particularly have ballerina syndrome because I've seen somebody who literally fucking has it. Like it's
Yeah.
like It's
You don't have it. I know you don't have
They
it.
do not get off
Yeah.
their tiptoes.
So he probably
They are
had it,
standing
yeah.
on
That
them
guy
and they
probably had
move around completely like that. Like I've seen like dudes with that, and it's like it's not like the same thing.
It's
Yeah,
a
but I'm just
disability.
saying, like
Yeah.
Kind of.
if you look at it the way that all of us walk, like you could be the closest.
I walk like a
have
fairy, yes, but like it's
I didn't say that. but
Fairies
I mean,
don't
if you wanna
walk;
add a
they
little
float.
pizzazz to the walk,
By the way. Oh my god.
All right, you were
it's
saying.
fucking hilarious how John is leading into the gayness.
John,
Hey, man, you wanted
Which
to
is
bring-
funny
you
because
wanted to bring
he's
it there,
probably
I'm
the most
there.
hetero because he's been in a relationship for 6 years.
if you want to bring it there, I'll bring it
It
there.
was a joke. It's fine, dude. We respect you. It's okay.
I respect you
probably
too,
the
bro.
gay.
Wouldn't respect him if he was.
Nick's probably the gayest one.
Nick literally
I'm
there.
straight up the
We
gayest
respect
one.
you. You're
I'm
so
like the
hetero.
macho fighter. Like,
Yo, bro, look at me right now. I respect you so much right now.
I appreciate you, man.
What's happening?
I
Can I-
actually could kiss you.
If you don't mind, I'd like to show you later how much I respect you.
I mean, we're like one short pause away.
Bro. I got a girlfriend. I don't care.
It only takes me 40 seconds.
I'll risk it all.
Quick break.
Only a man knows what another man wants.
Quick break. I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
No, this is just how comfortable I am with my masculinity.
I'll wear pink. I'll prove I'm masculine.
I'm gonna fuck.
I'm gonna go fuck. So for this, I haven't heard any like bone snapping, as in like a not a symptom, but like
A guy's just
possible
walking
risk.
and
yeah, like I haven't seen
like
that.
any aftermath
Thank
of
f-
bone
yeah,
snapping.
like I
Okay.
haven't
but
seen
there's
like somebody
violent
literally
things.
fucking.
Like something happens and it snaps off.
But then that would be any bones.
No, but
It
I'm
wouldn't
I'm
just
wondering,
be-
is it more fragile though?
yeah, can I hit these people in the shins with a golf club?
You are in a fragile state where you can't really walk. But I don't know how much that affects more the bone because it is really just a muscle that takes time.
Yeah, because I would say like walking is like about 80% of my day.
Well, there you go. But you can't do that for like a good few
That
months.
fucking
So it's
sucks.
starting.
I like
Yeah.
to walk.
Well, you'd walk, but you'd have to do this little stops and then stop
yeah, yeah.
I have
entirely.
any pain walking. I feel like
Physiotherapy.
I just don't want to walk all day. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
if I
I
like
understand
what there's always these days like probably like once every 2 weeks where like my knee is at a point where like every time I step on my right knee, there's fucking pain. Like as soon as I put weight on it.
Mm.
So I'm just like, you know what? I really just want to fucking sit for the whole day.
Yeah.
Or lay down the whole
Y'all,
day.
y'all
No,
gotta
I'm
go
an
to
a-
physiotherapy.
I'm an anxious person, so I can't sit for long times, and I don't like lying down for long times. I like to walk all
I
day.
have a sore back if I sit down too much.
Yeah, I actually get that too.
Yeah. I like biking a lot, but the thing is, with the bike I have, it really can fuck with my knee because it's a bit too slow. So if I go up the hills, which I like to do, but the thing is, it only has one speed. I'm
that's
at
the
the
problem.
slowest speed.
No.
So I'm forcing all the time. So I've been doing that for a week. And then I'm like, you know what? I might like have to walk that up that hill
You
for
need
now
the
and get
16
another
speeder,
beat.
man.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
I
you
need
gotta-
to
yeah,
switch
hit
that
that
up.
one or
Because
two
I
speeder.
went really
No.
cheap. I was like, I don't need a big bike.
Nah,
I'm
man,
cool.
you
I'm
gotta,
just gonna
you gotta
bike.
look up a 16
Yeah,
speeder.
get a secondhand bike. You need that shit. For
You didn't
like
get one
No,
of
that's
those
what I
bikes with a
did.
fucking
But
basket, did you?
the thing is, I kind of took it for the aesthetic. I was like, that's a cute bike. I like it. So then I went and I was like,
That's where you went wrong. You
ooh.
never
the
get
bike
a
with the
for
fucking-
aesthetics,
That's
man.
what
You gotta
girls
get
always do.
functionality.
Girls always be doing that.
Oh, it looks
stupid
so
ass
damn
shit.
Because
cute.
it's so cute, and I was just like, I could fuck
But
with
it's
this bike. I'm
fucking
good.
useless.
Yeah,
but then
no.
I was actually actively biking, and I'm like, this is not a good bike.
Mine's
It's like
joking.
when you get one of those bikes with like the fucking handles are like vertical and you got a basket in the middle and shit. You just like it's useless for going.
I legit took
It's
an
like you're
antique
fucking
bike,
a ram.
but I'm building my own.
Now
bike.
you're onto something.
I'm
I
in the
know.
process of building
Thanks.
my own bike, which I'm actually really happy
Damn,
about.
bro. It's just
Yeah,
like men
I
build their
bought
own
like
cars and shit.
I
Oh.
bought like a frame, like a good frame, like a Peugeot frame.
Cool.
So it's like nice and light.
Then all the other shit can be.
As long
fucking
as you get adjustable,
I'm getting the
speeds,
gear
yeah.
shifts.
Okay, cool.
This
Yeah,
is the most
good shit.
expensive ones.
Manual,
But like everything
yeah.
else is fun. I'm gonna paint it too. Like
Nice,
really
yeah.
cute
Don't make
Anyway.
it too cute.
Oh yeah, so I don't get stolen from.
Yeah, because I had a great fucking bike,
Oh,
cheap price.
no.
I took tape. I just taped it
Oh,
up
yeah,
at
to make it
random
look like
places.
shit,
It
yeah.
looked ghetto as fuck.
Yeah.
It was a great bike.
And nobody wants to steal it.
Nobody wants to steal a ghetto looking bike.
Yeah.
Everybody wants
Yeah.
the nice, expensive BMX
true.
or whatever.
I have
That
one.
or I might just. Take
I
the
had
front
one that
wheel
looked
off.
like it was
Yeah.
already stolen, so nobody wanted to steal it.
Yeah.
nice.
Because it was already spray painted black from like another frame. So
Nice.
it already looked like it was stolen. So they're like, damn, this guy might have
Just
fucking
write
up.
stolen on it.
I literally left it unlocked everywhere I went.
But that's what I would be worried if I ever got the leg lengthening surgery. Is like if like not only I couldn't do this for 2-3 years, it's just I don't even know if I'm gonna recover all the way with that properly, if that could fuck up. But again, like I said, I haven't seen anything that says that the bones are more like fragile or anything. So
I would
I
imagine
can't
it would
attest
be
to
like
that.
basketball players getting like the ACL surgeries, where it would be
That's
like
scary
you
when they
might
snap their
get
legs.
it and you might be able to come back, but everybody will say like this was like his good days. You know what I mean? And then now he's just like powering through.
I think the leg lengthening is way worse because it's not. It doesn't bring you back to the state you were before.
It just makes you look
No,
cuter.
you're in a
It
completely
literally
altered
changed
state
it,
that you
yeah.
have to adapt to.
You
too.
have
Yeah.
to adapt.
It makes
which
you look
is why
better
it
with
takes
pants
so
on,
long
you know?
to
I gotta wonder if that comes with any sort of dysmorphia afterwards too.
How good are you going to be after the third surgery at rewalking again? The muscle memory of relearning how to walk.
Because I mean, think about it psychologically. You get so adapted to a way you walk for so long that now suddenly, after years of walking the same way, you suddenly have to walk differently. That also messes with you psychologically.
Yeah, but then imagine like you relearned how to walk, but then how good are you going to be? Because, you know, like you just said, like you spent, example, like 20 years of your life learning how to walk and you walk a certain way.
Yeah.
But then you spend the whole year or 2 years learning how to rewalk. So
Yeah.
then you have less time that you got adjusted to it. So the second surgery or the third surgery, how good are you going to become at just relearning how to walk?
True. But
So maybe
you
like
know,
the-
at some point
maybe
you
the
live with
physical-
it, you stay with
Yeah.
it. So you like years and years go in, you probably finally sink into it,
Yeah.
and your walk is permanently altered. I don't know if it's completely worse. Like maybe you just walk slightly. It's slightly off because I will show you a video of like a guy that healed 2-3 years after him playing basketball, like doing exercise and everything. And for me, it's very subtle. And even that, I might be biased. Maybe it's because I know that he had surgery that I think he's walking weirdly. But there was a little thing where I'm like, I still feel some hesitancy, but that could be me. So I'd be curious to see if you guys feel that way or just think that he walks away. But that will be for later.
Dope.
So so in the same documentary, thank you again, CNS Undercover Asia, long title name.
CNA Insiders Make Me Taller Undercover Asia.
Thank you. Later in this documentary, Dr. Sarin gets a patient that had the surgery for limb deformity because he did have the ballerina syndrome, but that was caused by the previous surgery that was meant to extend his limbs. So not only did that leave him with a deformity that he now needs to correct, he goes to Dr. Sarin to also add even more height. Like this guy is like, I'm not stopping.
He's like,
I
I'm
want 6
obsessed
inches.
with that shit.
Yeah, he wants to be 6 inch.
6 feet.
6 feet. That's 6 inch.
It almost feels
He wants to regress.
I want 6 inches too. We're not all there.
6 inches is kind of pushing it, but
I gotta be.
I want to
happy
be
with
up
my
there.
3.
He's got to. He
My
wants to
3
be
ain't
6
cutting
feet.
it no more.
So all this surgery, also knowing that he didn't even recover completely properly the first time, it sounds excessive him coming back again, knowing
Yeah.
that this is an issue.
Why don't you just hang yourself upside down with some monkey bars or something? You know? Like, just
I
wait a
remember
minute. Stretch
hearing
it out
that.
a bit.
That's so funny. You can stretch it out, I swear. That's how bones work. Just stay there for literal years.
It's because you're not stretching enough.
But remember how I've talked about how there are 2 methods of surgery. There's the eternal or the external, which is the external being the ease of method. But the eternal one is the new and improved method. It's an expandable rod that is placed inside the bone, a bit like the external one, but there is a magnetic gear system inside it. So you have a handheld remote controller that goes on top of the skin and uses another magnet to slowly lengthen the eternal design.
Sorry, but I got some scientific shit. I got some science fiction shit that really
I will say
scared the fuck out of me.
it sounds very scary, but honestly, it's much more practical because it's a lot more controlled, which means the other one, it's not controllable. That's why it can vary how much you can get, because if you don't recover properly, maybe you'll get, maybe you won't, maybe because it kind of goes on its own pace.
So is this controllable from the outside?
It
is.
is,
Okay. Is
which
some sort of
means-
like remote or something?
Exactly. And you're always followed by your doctor. So when your doctor sees is like, okay, you can get now we will extend. You've moved through this.
Depending how well
I
it
have-
heals.
Exactly.
I have
so
some
that's why it's
science
like it
fiction
sounds scary,
cringe.
but it's better.
This-
Go.
I have some science fiction cringe that would make it like a lot weirder.
Okay.
What if it becomes like robotic where you can control it from the outside, but then somebody like let's say you have like a malfunction.
This is
like
Black
RoboCop.
Mirror.
it automatically expands by itself, but then it just doesn't stop. And
It
it goes
rips
like
your fucking
instead of
arm
14
off.
centimeters max, you get to like
Holy
30 centimeters.
Shit.
Bro, and you're fucking just your tibia
Like you're on
just
stilts.
You become a
Yo.
fucking monster.
yeah, but
Yeah.
like your body can't recover, so you're just getting split open.
It's like
And-
upgrade,
Shit.
but with legs.
I
And
love
guys
it.
show up to you with suits and they're like, we hack your system.
Did you
We
see-
make
did you
you
see
basketball
Upgrade?
player.
no,
You should see it. It's like Venom, but with robots.
that's crazy.
What you're describing right now is
But
like
that's-
Upgrade, but with legs.
It's like Men in Black too.
Yeah,
like they
we're like-
come in,
we're
you
like-
Men in Black. They're like, you are
We
not normal.
sabotage your legs to create the greatest basketball
It's like
player
an
of all
unwanted
time.
DLC.
Because I was gonna say some RoboCop as
I thought
shit,
RoboCop
where
as
like
well.
you could go and like I'm gonna kill this doctor, and then the doctor's like, oh what, and then starts extending your legs, like
You're like,
ah my
shit.
calves, you
what-
can't
Oh,
move
sorry, it
anymore.
was just a malfunction.
My beautiful calves.
You
Oh,
didn't
no.
know I could control your shin length.
Dun, dun, dun.
Full speed ahead. I do think like there is precautions. Like you can't just like fucking like you can't go
Put it in
full
overdrive.
throttle.
That's the spooky shit.
By the way,
overdrive.
that's how handheld controllers work. You
How
just
much
do-
taller do you want to be?
That's a,
Yes.
it's like a lever. You're like,
You walk by a desk, you hit it, it just fucking pushes into overdrive. All of a sudden, it just stretches your legs like.
You got like 5 short kings just dying at home. Like,
all the
It's
people
literally-
that
it's
have lied
literally
about their
just
operations, they're just like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, well, it's just like, what are their Bluetooth connected? And you just like randomly tip this over at the doctor's office. The guy's just sitting at home and,
the Wi-Fi
so
crashes for one day. The homie's
That's
fucking
so
in
funny.
agonizing pain because it actually got shorter.
It's like, gosh, it regressed in
It
the
compressed.
You're like, gosh.
Like even getting
Hell
shorter.
yeah.
Imagine like one day you go on a date. You're like 6'2", and then all of a sudden you go to your fucking you come back home like your Wi-Fi crashed. You go to like another.
she's
date.
like, what's wrong? And you're like getting taller and shorter, like, nothing, baby. What's that over there?
what if it worked like those platformer games? So like if you see something tall, you just boink. You're like wee. Like, God,
Springman.
you spring.
Trademark that shit right now.
or it's like Duolingo. If you didn't complete your task for the day, you get shorter.
It regresses you. You're like, shit, I lost my streak. I'm back to
You're like,
like
you
my
didn't learn how to
height.
be tall for a day. So
This
here's-
really is some Black Mirror shit, though.
yeah.
This is Black Mirror.
Like, yeah. We should write an episode.
That'd be some terrifying shit, bro.
Hire
I'm not
us,
gonna lie.
Black Mirror.
I'm not gonna lie, I can't trust that.
But Dr. Sarin isn't familiar with this method. Like we said, he's only familiar with the external Yizarov method. This would be the first time he even does it.
Oh.
So what does he do? As any other doctor, maybe you'd be like, well,
Do it on a hamster.
you know, I
first.
need the train to do. You get it?
I was going to say a dog, but I was going to say the same thing.
Fucking make a 6 foot tall hamster. What the fuck, Jimmy? You're tall. Your legs are taller than you.
Hamsters dies if you sneeze near them. Even implementing this thing would explode the hamster. Like,
They already fuck at exponential
you
rates.
cough anywore near them and they'll
Not
fucking
gonna lie,
die
you're
of a
like,
heart attack.
Listeners at home and guys over here, imagine a hamster with long legs.
all I did is-
The body still stays the same, but the legs are long.
It's a daddy long legs.
So he never did this surgery. And I don't know, if you were a doctor, what do? You never did the surgery, but this
YouTube.
patient... YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube.
I would
YouTube,
YouTube
yeah.
every
Yeah, probably
procedure.
YouTube.
Straight
YouTube?
up.
You'll
Yeah,
YouTube
then,
that?
Yeah, straight up.
What did he do?
Before or after the surgery?
Probably
Not
after.
after,
No,
during.
during.
Yeah.
So you're not too far wrong.
step by step.
Oh.
Step by step
You're not too
tutorial.
far wrong.
No, but you know, the sexy doctor, the Dr. Mike,
Yeah.
he says it like sometimes, yeah, we're literally looking up YouTube videos during surgeries.
That's crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they're from real surgeons.
No, I
Nobody
understand, but for
ever
me,
said that the
it's
ending
just-
was good.
It's me for more in my mind. I don't mind it being there, but like, did you not train for it like right before? If you know
Like,
you're
listen,
gonna do
I'm
the
like
surgery,
I'm an editor, and sometimes I have issues with editing things. Sometimes I'm looking up a YouTube video and doing the things side by side to fix it. Sometimes you fucking.
Sometimes I got a body on my hand.
Sometimes you plug the wrong arteries together, and you gotta look up on YouTube. Oh, that's what I did wrong.
But I would think like if you're gonna look it up during a very important surgery, you would like proofread, but instead of like proof
like
watch
prep
the
a
fucking
bit.
the
Yeah,
video,
proof watch.
not just like you're in the
it's
fucking
also-
surgery room texting.
But
it
then
in.
you're
be
wasting anesthetic time.
to be
exactly.
Like you're
fair,
doing it in
it's
real time.
also, I'm guessing he's also doing surgeries that they need to do it now, and maybe they're not prepped, but they could probably have the help
Well, like
of this
doctor, I
doing
need
that.
to be tall
Yeah,
right now.
not for leg lengthening.
No,
If
but
you
it's
do
also
that,
it's
prep
also
yourself.
it's not
Yeah.
literally YouTube videos. It's like you know, like when
doctors, yeah.
it's a real doctor. I took a video for instructional purposes for these exact reasons.
Hey, what's up, you guys? I'm about
Yeah.
to kill this motherfucker now.
and they just happen to be on the most popular video platform on the internet.
What ensues in the operating room is frankly baffling because, again, I'm reiterating that he refuses patients that have
internet crashed.
that
Can't watch the
internet-
video no more.
He will refuse patients. He says that he deems that like are going too far, not too far, but like it's a bit impossible or like they're trying too much for it. But he hasn't done it with this guy, which I find interesting. But this guy also paid $31,000, which is more than the $20,000, and an added $18,000 from the previous surgery as well. So that's where I'm like, all right, so you
he's
don't.
in the like 49,000 range.
Yeah, so
Okay.
he's his biggest client so
Okay, so
far.
you
So
make
he's
me
in the
10
I'm
feet
not
tall.
broke no more.
I don't give a
I'm
fuck.
giving you
I want
more.
to fight a giraffe.
As this doctor and his team, while the surgery is ongoing, study the instruction manual of said device. So it's not even YouTube. They're studying like you see them, they're
The
reading
initial
it.
device
They're like,
needed to be.
Hey man,
installed.
sometimes you gotta look at the instructions.
they're like
That's what it is.
shit and everything. But it's also
Are you sure
hilarious.
his wife
They're
wasn't in the room?
They're assembling
She
it.
was like, "Did you read the instructions?"
It's like, yeah.
Whatever. I'll bring out the instructions. Stupid lady.
Imagine they're in the middle of the procedure and they're like they're reading like the IKEA instruction. They're like, "Fuck, there's 2 bolts missing."
the little guy in the corner, like,
He's like,
Or like when you do
"What
when
a
you have,
goofy
like,
guy."
2 pieces that like should fit together but don't, so you just jam it through. So you're just like, ah,
you
you'll
gotta
be
I will
fine.
say that's a lot of IKEA's furniture.
You have to jam it through. So
You
you're
gotta
like,
jam shit in there.
It's a lot of brute force.
a lot.
Swedish aren't mean, but when they build furniture, I'm saying they got some fucking.
Yo, I
benefits.
straight up got paid $100 to go
Build
a
one?
bed.
I heard, yeah.
That was awesome.
People do
was
that,
fucking
yeah.
Easy.
It's so funny. I love building.
Did you
those
have
shit, so I wish I
instructions,
could
or
get
they
paid
just
for
let
that.
you brute
Actually,
force?
Yeah,
I like
it's-
building those things with a nice podcast in the background. That's perfect.
Yeah, me
Listen
too.
to the
I love
boys
that.
versus
It's
everything.
calming.
Slap that on and just
Yeah.
build your IKEA furniture.
I like building the stuff.
trying to
It's
get
fun.
the IKEA furniture building crowd in now.
Yeah.
I like to
Yeah.
like buy my furniture already built.
Fucking pussy.
Hell no.
Yeah, get it into your fucking through your door frame like that, you goober.
Or just fucking walk it there.
While the doctor is studying the instruction manual, a lot of times he and his team seem pretty confused on how to go with this. Again, it's their first time doing it. And at some point he gets into a video call with the manufacturer about it to find out how to proceed. So it looks a little funny because he's just like, you know when your parents start calling about like a tech support
Oh,
thing?
no.
So he's very much like, so where do I put this again? He's like, well, you gotta like just like the little voice selling him where it
I'm
looks
not
like
gonna
he's
lie,
saying,
We
like,
know.
what
We know
money.
this guy. Like,
It's so funny.
There are not many moments in life where you should be afraid, but you should be afraid when the Indian man calls for tech support.
yeah.
I do believe that is one of those instances to be afraid.
But you know what? Those surgeons do have a lot of confidence. Like my surgeon, I remember when I got it, he said, "Oh, it's like a 60, no, it's a 96% success rate, which is like 3% more dangerous than the other one." And he's like, "Oh, because it's close to the nerves, you can hit the nerves and all these things." And I'm like, "Okay." Are you going to hit my nerve? And he's like, I don't hit nerves.
Oh, he's like the
Nice.
John
Yeah,
Wick
gotcha.
of not
Nice.
hitting
I know.
nerves.
And I like this guy.
Yeah, obviously you do want your doctor to not be like.
That's kind of hot. That just made your doctor kind of hot.
That is
That's
true.
the only
that's kinda
time-
hot.
Is
That
he a
hot.
woman?
no, thank God.
Does he identify as
That's
a
a
woman?
shame. Actually, no, that's a bonus because I'm so gay.
Holy shit.
Get him his number, please.
Please,
Please.
because I love cock.
This has nothing.
In India, for $20,000 or a little bit more, as this patient paid for,
20,000
this is what it
rupees?
gets you a little. So you get the external
Don't look at me like
fixation and maybe the new method if the guy can find out exactly
The
how it
magnet
works.
method?
Yeah, like
Oh, okay.
if the guy can find out how to do it on the fly. But what about the Western world for the hefty price of 75,000 to 100,000? Well, surprisingly,
pretty
it's a
good.
lot more positive than I thought. First of all, there are countless YouTubers praising the surgery, like the people that have gone through it
Logan Paul.
Interesting.
and everything, and they're kind of sort of limb lengthening influencers of sort, as in like they're very they
course
preach it
they are, yeah.
a lot of it.
That face John
You
gave
can
me
make
was
your
too
grift.
good.
you can grift for it, and I might sound callous, but I do want to be clear. A lot of these YouTubers do seem knowledgeable enough because it is people that went through it and real enough to not sell you on this crazy lie. The ones you do have to look out for are the channels that are specifically doing these surgeries, like the ones in Turkey and everything. And to be fair, they do look like they have a lot more budget than in India, and they do have a lot of success stories. But it
Yeah.
is funny them promoting it because
Well, Turkey's like the plastic surgery capital.
yeah,
now. Yeah.
So like they're
Anything
gonna be
cosmetic, they
completely
fucking-
they're like
Yeah.
come here. So Turkey has become
I'll
the
make
new
a hair plugs
place.
after this.
I don't even think they have turkeys in Turkey.
Man, that legit made me stop a bit. I was like,
that was the most
Think
wild.
about it.
like-
Think about it. Think about it.
Turkeys are in North America.
Right? That's weird though. You would think.
That
I'm
was
just
the most
saying.
wild and unprovoked
Guys,
shit
guys.
ever.
we need to move on. Sorry.
I'm just saying you would think.
That is true.
Oh, God,
okay.
Turkey has become the new
Gobble,
place for
gobble.
leg
Gobble
lengthening.
gobble. These nuts.
So gobble gobble for here, but in India we say quack quack. Okay, got it. They're in
No, we
between.
say, my friend, my friend.
Jesus Christ.
Fucker.
They are in between India and the States in price range and quality. So like a lot of people will go to Turkey for it if they can't fully afford it in the States. Some of these Turkish players have YouTube channels like Live Life Taller.
Live life taller.
Live Life Taller,
like
that's a
this-
It's a
channel.
whole new live life love.
Yeah, that's
It's
exactly
a
what I was
channel.
gonna say, man.
I-
This will be very.
Single
Could you
mom.
check? Because I have the video.
Yeah.
And this is the video I'm going to show you is from that channel. This guy went to Turkey.
Visual companion found in the
Yes,
description.
went to Turkey for it, and this is him fully healed up 2 years afterwards. I think 2 years
Nice.
after.
Hey, he's running a marathon, playing basketball.
You can play it.
What is that? Playing footsies?
No.
Kissing boys?
I was putting in work, Every day I was walking. Every day I pushed every day. When you push every day.
He sounds Brazilian.
Why is he not showing his face?
He sounds Brazilian. Maybe he's black.
Damn, he's got ligma.
Is that a cute girlfriend?
You know what?
He's
It-
like
it actually
basketballing and everything.
It makes sense that he doesn't show his face because the
I can't
the
even
leg
tell his
lengthening
legs are small.
surgery, you wouldn't even tell.
Before the surgery, there was like, nah, you short, but now, no one tells me I'm short. Like, no one. That's like a big change for me.
That's because you hang around better people.
Yeah, that's because you hang around shorter people. You gotta find some taller people in your
Look,
life.
the,
You're
the
probably
fucking
gonna-
person right there is shorter than him.
You gotta go to like Reykjavik or something. You're gonna find some taller people in you.
You know, that jump was supposed to show that he's like so athletic, but like he jumped really low.
He does have like some weird stutters in the way he walks, but like
That cartwheel was shit.
That car
That was
was
a
dog.
shit.
That was a dog shit cartwheel.
Guys, our patient came back from Sweden. Sweden, greetings to Sweden. What was your height and what is your current height?
Like my height before was 172.5. Now 179.
Okay. How was that project? I mean, okay, it was in a hotel, but the team and everything.
Like the team was like perfect. Sedat for me is like number one, because I called him at night and he answered, everything. I need help. I was hungry. He answered the phone. He was like, calm down. So that was a good thing, actually.
I appreciate it. Thank you, brother. Thank you. But now I see him happy, really, and it makes me also happy. But I remember, guys, his recording was also quick, brother. Muscle adaptation was perfect.
Yeah.
So how was the period when you leave us, when you go back to your home country, the recording period?
Yeah, only like 2 months, 1 month. Yeah, I did like a good recovery, and then everything was good. I trained like really hard, and I put in work, cycle, training, go to the gym. 1 month, 2 months, it was great.
Okay.
Actually,
Okay.
I'm not joking. Like actually, 1 month, 2 months, I was good.
Crazy.
Yeah.
To be honest, brother, when you think about it, are you regret your decision?
Nah, no way. It's like a medicine. When you lengthen, you don't. Before when you're short, you think about people are taller than me.
Okay.
But now I never think like that. No way, no more. Like live like taller. Nah, it's good.
How is life changing for you after lengthening? What exactly changed in your life?
Man, like everything. Like no one tells me that I'm short. No one. Like, I've never, after the surgery, before the surgery, there was like, nah, you're short. But now, no one tells me I'm short. Like, no one. That's like a big change for me. That's what I wanted with this surgery.
Wow.
Like, actually, like, thank you.
You're welcome.
Only that part saves everything.
It's like a medicine for your psychology.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, only that, too big for me.
I saw sometimes comments, brother. Yeah, people's doing limb lengthening because of they don't have self-confidence. No, guys, people's doing limb lengthening because of the self-confidence.
Yeah, that's
you're right, right?
Yeah, that's how it is, man.
Yeah.
It's only that,
Because a guy without self-confidence, I cannot imagine that he can do the
No way.
Forget it.
I don't think people who can't cartwheel should cartwheel.
It does feel like, look, he can walk like a taller person, but he also can't jump for shit. You know what I mean? Like he still jumps like he was short, but he just gets off the ground from somewhere taller, but he still ends up at the same spot. You know what I mean?
I didn't hear how they do this. Sometimes it's like if you get filmed, we'll comp a little, from your surgery. So I don't know if they did that for him.
But you know what though? If you look at the calves very carefully, you can also tell where it got extended.
But that's like when he was running. It felt like his foot wasn't leaving the ground as high.
You went from
it's funny. He went from being taller than me to being I'm 170 centimeters, and he started at 172.
Yeah,
which is not like short. Anyways,
You'll get a lot that are 5'11" that want the surgery to get.
yeah, it's
That's
like
crazy.
people just
Yeah.
the 5 is a bad word. It's like a bad number for people. I don't know why.
That's what I hear, because like there's somewhere I see that they used to be like 5'5" and everything, and I'm like, insecurity wise, I can get
understand
that.
the 5'5"
Yeah.
more than.
But like when it's 5'11", 5'10", I'm like, you're good.
You're fine. You're like
You're
tall.
good.
You're
I have
like
a
in the
personal
average.
question.
Yeah.
I have a personal question for the boys here.
Yo.
So, would you get this surgery? Let's say like we were like an inch or two shorter, right? And we all were self-conscious about it, right? Would you get it? Would you get this surgery more to impress women, or would you get it to stop getting bullied by the boys?
I don't
Because we would
give a
100%
shit.
talk shit about
I
you
think
if
I
you were-
think it's a lot more to impress women.
Yeah.
Because I think women see it. I think I feel this stigma a little more from women than I do from men.
I feel like
Most guys I know don't
personal.
give a shit. Like if you're beefing with a dude, that'll be the first thing he'll shoot at you for sure. He'll be like, "Oh, you're a fucking short bitch, you're a midget or whatever."
Yeah.
But
You already
most
don't like
often,
him.
if you're in an amicable situation with a dude's not gonna give a shit. He might make a joke once or twice, but it's like it's amicable. It's not like it's you don't feel it. You don't take it that personally. But I've found it much more difficult in the dating world with women where it's like, oh, you're short.
Yeah.
You're short. Like I've had like people lose significant interest because I wasn't like 6 feet something. I was taller than them, but not tall enough.
But that's what I find interesting, because I
sure.
wanted to mention
okay,
that too. Because, it's not just men doing this, women have it too.
Yeah.
And I find it interesting because I wanted to get to the comments of it,
Yeah.
because there is, like, I repeated it a lot, but it is really badly seen for a lot of these guys to have
Yeah.
done their surgery. Like there's some that they show their faces, they talk.
Yeah, because the
And
thing
a
is,
lot
you
of
don't,
people
you
are
don't
like,
end up. Sorry to cut you off,
no, go
but
for
like
it.
you don't end up getting out of it,
No.
That
right?
mindset.
That's like, you know, and you as a person are probably still gonna have that in the back of your mind a bit.
But that's also why
So it's
people
like-
cover their faces. Is
Yeah.
for that exact reason where it's like, no, I
Yeah.
remember you being
Yeah.
shorter, but now you made a documentary about you being taller.
Yeah.
Then you're like, you're still gonna get the same shame that you had when you were shorter.
But you know what's funny
but
though?
you just got taller doing it.
Things it's like one of my exes was a short girl.
Women is alright.
And I know, but that's the
No,
funny
but
thing
that,
actually
that
good.
is
There is
no,
not
but
much of a
that's
stigma
this is what
against
I
women
mean
being
because
short.
this is what I find weird.
She
because
still felt she didn't like being short.
yeah,
Like,
But it's in a
even
different
even though
context.
people don't see it the same way, it's like, oh, it's cute or whatever. She still like that still affected her life.
yeah,
Mm.
and I
it
agree.
pissed her off, and then like she didn't enjoy being short.
Well, I
Yeah.
think a lot of short people get belittled into, especially I find with women, short people get belittled into being children. A
Yeah.
lot of people see them as children
Yeah.
still.
Take it less
like
serious.
it's literally a meme where it's they get taken less seriously. It's literally a meme of like, oh, when my girlfriend who's short gets mad and they see them as kids.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
like, that's
You
so
know?
fucking adorable. And it's like,
Yeah.
no, she's fucking genuinely pissed.
Like this is a person who's genuinely pissed.
That's the thing. But this
Yeah.
is what I was like. I was gonna bring up exactly. You actually brought up a good point, Nick. Is because when you see the comments, like when it's guys, it's a lot of like, oh, like you should just be happy with your height and blah blah blah. You should be good. And when it's comments towards women, it's just a lot of guys being like, oh, but girls don't need this. Guys,
You look
guys like
cuter.
that shit.
Yeah,
like and
no.
everything. And I'm like, yeah, but it's not about. That's what my judgmental side comes in when I realize, and I'm like, is it really only get like a girl? Or like and everything and like
It's
maybe
to feel good
it's-
about yourself.
That's this
Yeah.
I can get a lot more, but when it's just like so easily, like there's some where they talk about it and they're like, honestly, I just felt like I wanted it and everything, and I treat it as plastic surgery. So I'm like,
Well,
hey man, if it gives you
a lot of
confidence,
people
cool.
see it as I do it for like that's one of the excuses I hated the most is the one he said was like I did it for myself, but the reason why they did it for themselves is because they get seen a certain
Yeah,
way by
I think-
other people, which makes them feel like
Well,
shit.
because in some
So
sort,
then if you
I agree
change
with
it,
that.
you get you change it. It's like you change it for yourself because it makes you feel bad, but the reason why you're changing it for yourself is because other people see you.
Because a lot of these folks' self acceptance is still relative to how other people see
Yeah.
it.
but they
And,
change it
like-
into themselves.
Because for me, it's like I never like, and like I said, I'll bring it back a bit, not to reiterate what I said before, but I'll say it again. Like for me, I never find that like with other dudes, I'm like, I know people who are fucking way taller than me, and I'm like, whatever. I'll have a conversation. I know girls who are way taller than me. I'll have a conversation with them. I'll talk with them, but like, and I'll even be in flirtationships with people like this, and there's nothing going on because I'm not thinking about it, you know. But it is like once for me, the only time where height really comes into play is when I'm in a dating context. When I'm in a dating context, that's when I find most women bring it up. Right. And I'm not even like incredibly short. I'm not like 4 feet or something. I'm like,
No.
I'm 5'6",
Yeah.
5'7".
Your average height.
Yeah,
It's
I'm-
literally the average height, I think.
not in Canada, apparently.
5'10".
5'10" in Canada?
Apparently.
5'10" for men.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
5'7" for men. For women.
But
But
the
it is
thing.
like, that's the only
So
context in which I get self-conscious about height. Right. Like, and it is, again, it's relative to other people. It's not 100% for my self-confidence. I wouldn't do that for my self-confidence. I'm fine.
I dated a girl
Where I am.
taller than me, and it was never a problem.
Yeah.
You know, like the whole relationship went smoothly, and it just became a
Clearly, it didn't because you're not with her.
thing. No, but it became a thing of
Damn,
character.
Nick.
Don't fucking lie.
That's what I was about to say. It became a thing
Damn.
of character. But then after that, at the end, it was just like, you know, like for me, like I always thought of it as like, damn, she actually dated somebody shorter. And for women, it is a thing where it's like, well, it's a thing for women and also a thing for men. Whereas men, like as we talked about earlier, where women feel like they're not taken with respect
Seriously,
because they're
yeah.
shorter. Because
Yeah.
people
Which
are like,
is
"Oh,
true
you're
in
so
jobs
cute."
and everything. If you're like
Yeah.
if you're already a woman, you already have to prove a lot more.
Yeah.
If you're shorter,
If you're shorter men
it's
than the
like,
women,
yo, people
Yeah.
treat you like
Yeah.
a
People treat you-
child.
I do think
and
that.
in a
I see that a
relationship,
lot,
it becomes like a thing of like, you know, like the way that she looks at you is literally looking down on you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Then as a man, you might feel less, you know what I mean? Whereas like I think very like level headed, so like I don't really give a shit.
Mhm.
But like as somebody who like could experience it, it would be like you're looking down on the man, and then the
Yeah.
man has to look up at his girl to like talk shit or whatever, or
That's
like
kind of hot.
speak something of like heavy emotion.
Like, fuck you,
Then I
bitch.
can see where the problem
Get on your
lies.
knees and talk up to me.
Yeah.
Just I do think for
Yeah.
a lot of taller women in general, there's also this you know how like some guys can be emasculated. I don't know what the feminine
there
version
is that.
is,
That
but
does
there's this feeling that like already if you're a tall girl, people notice that from when you're young.
Yeah.
And you can be kind of insulted for it too. Like people are either like all like you skinny string bean or like being like, wow, you're taller than the dude. Like a giraffe? That's a thing. Like
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
bring
an
it.
NBA player.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
they
yeah.
add in a lot of
WNBA.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They add in a lot of this, and I do think for a lot of the taller girls, why they really adamantly either want like taller guys or like they can't even look at it.
Yeah.
It's a lot more about like I don't feel feminine
Yeah.
if I'm with a guy. Like
Yeah,
it's
makes
the
sense.
reverse of like instead of they don't think the
Of
guy's
insecurity.
masculine, they probably don't think they're feminine
Yeah.
when they're like, oh, like now it looks like I'm towering. Am I making him feel emasculated? Like does that
Yeah.
Yeah,
make me
because
feel
more self-conscious.
That's
masculine?
great. I mean, it'd be amazing if everybody was perfectly honest about that
I
and
think so.
express that.
But you know, I might be. It doesn't necessarily mean
Yeah,
all
it doesn't
women,
necessarily mean
all
everybody,
tall
man. But like
women.
sometimes that gets channeled out in a way that just seems outwardly like judgmental
Well,
of somebody
'cause-
who's smaller, anyways. You know,
Because
Yeah.
people are very like aggressive in the way they like
Yeah.
throw their views out.
I do
sometimes.
I
Or,
do
like,
agree.
I remember.
I would say
remember,
that view gets expressed aggressively.
like sometimes being
You
like,
could
oh, like
write
if,
your height and get ghosted. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, on the spot.
and like people are rude where it's like, oh my god, if some dude less than 6 foot tall talks to me, I'm just like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
But here's the thing,
That's crazy.
they're the only ones saying it. Like, there's a lot of girls. I've actually been in a conversation where like it was like a friend of this girl I was dating that was just like too tall. Like if you're over 6 foot, it's like a no. And I was just like,
You're like, wait, so what do?
I'm like,
because
what are they
that's also an ick. If you're too tall.
so people really have their preference, but you only hear one
Yeah.
sometimes.
That's the thing, because it's like
Well, 'cause one's more popular,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like
But
the popular one. We've been talking about this and like security stuff and like what would our preferences be and everything. And you guys are seem pretty confident and like also stable in the way
We're
you
stubborn
view
people,
yourself. And everything. And I know you guys talked about like in the dating world, it can be a little tricky with that too.
Mhm.
If you were even slightly less secure, would you consider the surgery?
At our current height or lower?
I honestly at your current height, because
at
I'm
our
hearing a
current
lot of
height.
people
Okay.
at you guys' current height really like some of these videos.
Yeah.
A lot of them they're 5'7",
Some of
and
these
I'm like,
people-
really?
Yeah, some of these people are like,
All right, so
our
let's go.
height and
Let's
doing
go
it.
from right to left.
Okay, well, I mean, in all honesty, I've been dating. I've been with the same person for 7 years almost. So,
You'd lie to her and then just
it'd
get
be, no,
surgery.
I wouldn't. Technically,
Put a
on
roofie.
a technicality, she's taller than me by like an inch or even a couple of centimeters.
That's true.
And she makes a joke of this, but I'm like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Good.
Like, I don't care. But in the dating context, I've never seen that as the thing in the way.
Okay.
I've been fine. Like I said, when I'm single, like I still, it's fine. I go to a club. I still dance with people, strangers, get some, and it was like, yeah, I was like, I'm fine. I guess I'm good looking on other aspects, and I don't think I'm like incredibly small. And even at that, I'm okay with myself. I'm fine. I got in shape too, so I feel like I'm cool. I don't need to, and I don't think that I would, I wouldn't be satisfied with myself if I did get this done. It would always be in the back of my mind.
Okay.
I think that would be more in the back of my mind, that if I would feel an imposter syndrome if I
Interesting.
did do this and then it got me laid a lot more or whatever,
Okay.
Whereas, like,
I
it
tend to
wouldn't
get like
happen
that.
unless-
I tend to get like that. I don't like faking stuff
Interesting.
till I make it that much.
Okay.
Yeah.
To be honest, my height matters more when I'm fighting. Like,
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
think about my height
Just more
until like I'm sparring someone.
Yeah, that sucks.
And we're like, I get face to face with them, like, this dude's like 6 foot.
Yeah.
And like their arms are way fucking longer, their kicks are longer, and all this shit. So that's the only time like my height really comes to play in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
But
So
when I'm
would you
like
get it?
talking,
For
But, like,
context,
even for
Nick
that,
is an
you-
MMA fighter.
he's
He's a Muay Thai fighter.
That's the thing, because even if you got that, like you have no real guarantee, because you'd have to relearn how to kick as
Yeah.
well.
Not only that,
Well,
but it
no,
would
that's
make your
the thing.
shins way more sensitive.
that's the thing where like I wouldn't get it because I'm the same way as John, where like I don't want to enhance myself.
Yeah.
To get-
to succeed.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like I used to be on like Ritalin and stuff.
Mm.
And like I literally stopped taking that shit and quit high school because I'm like, if I need this drug to go like to continue school, then I'm just not really me. I have to find what I'm good at.
Yeah.
With my body, my mind, everything. So like, you know, and
100%,
That's
brother.
very
I
cool.
feel that to the fucking
you
tip.
gotta
That's pretty cool.
Tip
you
to tip. Feel that.
believe in yourself.
Love it.
That's
I
pretty
feel
cool.
every veiny inch of that.
Damn.
All right, John's not
For
gay,
me,
guys.
it was I never really gave a shit because it was always like the people I was interested in when I was growing up, or like the people that I ended up in relationships with, were always like somewhat a little bit shorter than me, but like maybe like two of them that had that were a little bit taller than me, and I never felt insecure about it or anything like that. I'm very like confident in that way, where it comes to like my charm will carry me to where I need to be.
and this
So
boy charming.
I never really gave a shit. I'm like, if it's a problem, it's gonna be a problem for them. But my life is like clear conscience and like live it to where it is. The only thing that's like where the surgery would cause me the most problems is I skateboard like most of my life. And that's where like if I would get that surgery, that would be like 2 years of not skateboarding. And I don't know if anybody here has ever skateboarded,
Yeah.
but like if you spend less than a week or 2 weeks not skateboarding, your muscles automatically adapt to not skateboarding, and it becomes way harder to get back into it, where you have one day of like your absolute dog shit, you might injure yourself extremely badly, and then the second day you do it, which is like usually 1 or 2 days after you're the first time you've done it, then your muscles automatically adapt back into it, and then you become back to where almost close to where you were before you took that break. For me, it would cause more harm than good. Then where it's like, as a skateboarder, the taller you are, the scarier things are. So like,
That
if
is
example,
true.
you're jumping out like a 5 flight of stairs. So you're jumping down 5 stairs. If you're 6 foot tall, it just makes it that much scarier because you're that much higher off the ground.
Yeah.
So those 5 stairs are scarier than if you were 5'7".
You know, it's funny.
5'8",
I've never
5'6".
seen you skateboard.
Huh?
I've never seen you
Yeah, because I
skateboard.
don't show up here skateboarding. You know what I mean?
He does skateboard.
He does
I have
skate.
seen
I've
him.
seen
I
I
do.
know, I'm sure he does,
skateboard.
but it's like I've actually never seen
I've
him.
skateboarded
crazy.
since high school, and I've not
Audience,
like,
he does skateboard.
I've
He's
really
not a
not
poser.
stopped.
Crazy.
I've not stopped, but it's like one of those things where it's like for women it doesn't affect me because
Nice.
it's like my natural selection wouldn't be to do that. But if I would get the surgery, then I would feel like kind of like
Nice. You can do like an ollie and impress.
I
them.
would feel like a piece of shit if I got the skateboard. Like if I got that extension of the legs, then I would be like a little bit taller. I'd be like the thing I love.
Is
I'm
it
not
because you
I'm
guys
a-
caved in? Is that where that comes from? Well, I mean, like you
it
explained
would
it a bit. Like
it
that
would
you've
feel like
caved
naturally
in.
enhanced. I was the same as Nick, where like I took, well, probably like his version, but on crack,
Mhm.
because I was like on Ritalin, then like I was on Adderall, Ritalin, then I kept increasing until I got to like Befentin,
Mhm.
which was like almost like like
That's crazy. One,
60 to 40 like milligrams
Mhm.
of like
Yeah.
of those type of pills, where it was like like pretty much like personalized tranquilizer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's like your personality, you're like a fucking zombie.
Yeah.
So it's like those shits like it just made me feel like I was like always like nerfing myself. You know what I mean?
Mm,
And
yeah.
then I was like, if I would get those surgeries, not only would my capacity feel worse,
Mm-hmm.
so like you would always feel like, I don't know, if getting a surgery would always feel like you're always somewhat in pain. You know what I mean? Like you're always dealing with a little bit of pain. So I'd feel like I'm always fragile. You know what I mean? And I hate feeling like I'm fragile.
You fragile little boy.
Yeah, I'm fragile little boy.
I think I get what you mean more on the fragility side.
Mm-hmm.
On the imposter side, it's because I always like being
I'm
taller.
curious about you, yeah.
Because
you have
I do wanna be
tall relatives.
Yeah,
And
I
like
do.
siblings, literally.
All my
So,
siblings
yeah.
are pretty tall. But I do think we're maybe because my family is just tall as well.
Yeah.
They don't particularly care about height. But again, they're tall. So
Yeah. Well, of course they don't.
that's the thing. But we have like a cousin that is much smaller than me. She's like 4'8" and everything. And
Yeah.
but she's like, fuck,
Is this the
man,
one that
she's,
karate chops?
Yo, she does karate. She does mountain climbing.
Mm-hmm.
She's a multi-instrumentalist. She like works out of the like she's crazy active,
Yeah.
doing shit all the time. And I've
She's
never
like me, overcoming
yeah.
Overcoming the shortest
On
one.
legitimately,
Napoleon
yeah.
complex.
The most athletic
Napoleon
here, for
complex.
sure.
Maybe I should have been shorter. Maybe I would have accomplished even more. But it's just, I think, weirdly enough, I personally don't like being average height, just because it's more for clothing for me. Honestly, it's a lot more for clothing
Interesting, yeah.
because of like my body type and the clothes. There's a lot of things that don't really fit me.
I'll agree with that too. I look ridiculous in a trench coat. I still wear that.
There's like a style where it's people wearing like long skirt with like a tighter top, and I always wanted to do it until I wore a long skirt, and I was like, I look like an old woman. Like it aged me like 50 years,
Yeah.
and it's
I
because
think it was
of
like over
my
your
height.
shoes.
So
Yeah.
there's a lot of tall people things I want to wear, can't wear because of my height. So it's getting the surgery for that. I think I'd be eternally laughing at myself. I'd be like, you really got this just because
Yeah.
you look better. Like
Because you
it's
wanted
just
a fucking
Yeah.
skirt.
that's the thing. And like thinking about, I haven't even asked how your families would even react if you ever had to like think
they'd
about
bully
that.
me.
I'd be
so
bullied. For,
disappointed.
like
Yeah.
my mom would be like, "Are you fucking
Yeah, they'd be
kidding me?"
disappointed. Yeah.
Did we raise you like this to be weak?
Yeah.
I feel like nobody in my family would give a shit, to be honest.
Yeah.
But thank you guys so very much. I really appreciated
Well,
you guys
thank you.
like coming and talking.
Oh,
Thank you.
wait.
It's
Really
fucking
real about
incredible
it, too.
episode. And
That's
just for fairness, how tall are you?
Me?
Yeah.
I think I'm 5'6".
Driver's license.
I think I'm 5'6".
Okay, so we're the same height. You and I.
Yeah, like we're the same height. We're the same height.
Well, everybody, do
When we spend a lot of time talking, you know what I mean? That's a good time.
you want to outro the show?
Yeah.
So thank you very much for listening. This was the boys versus everything. I am Nick. You can look at me on Instagram at nick.serafino.
This is John here. You can find me on Instagram at director John Ramirez. I also make movies at Deadtime Media. I just dropped a new film called Window. And
the
Priscilla
Juan.
and I also directed a film together. It's called Society of the Bread. Go check those out. They're on YouTube.
Cyber
Yeah,
was
boy.
really fun to watch. I'm Juan Dos, as they call me. I don't usually plug anything, but what I like to see is all the support that we get on Instagram,
Yeah,
on
boy.
Spotify, everything that we get from here. It's gratifying, especially that we don't do this for money. We do this for love.
TikTok.
So it's nice to see. And all thanks to Priscilla. Priscilla closing
thank
it out
you,
right here
thank you.
for episode, killing it on that fucking script, making it very entertaining for us.
You guys can find me on Instagram at pixelatedprisca. And if you guys ever feel a little low about your height, no pun intended, honestly, you should have a good think about what you should do about it before completely jumping the gun. But
Yes,
you know,
Deadass, you're
no
always
judgment
loved.
either way.
Yeah, bro.
How short you are, how tall you are, you're always loved on here on the
Good
BB
stuff. You're
The
podcast.
perfect size for anything.
So like,
Follow us on Instagram, BB Pod. Follow us on TikTok, BB Pod.
Woo woo.
Follow us on YouTube, the Boys vs. Everything podcast. We love you. Stay short, kings.
short kings.